gas at first, and then he took over and landed a great shot. It was a straight after the guy missed on a shot. He made the guy miss, and
yeah,
I think he had a lot of hype behind him.
Yeah, they basically think he's the next Conor McGregor.
right.
That's what the UFC wants.
What is he, a light heavyweight? Oh, he's welterweight. Damn, these guys are tiny.
Oh yeah, I'm screwed. She only got 48 points. Light only got 48. What's up, guys? We're hanging out live. We're just gonna turn this thing out live. We're watching the fights at UFC 273. I know probably a lot of you checked out our United States Football League podcast about a week ago. We had about 150 views on it so far. We've been talking to some major players over there, so we'll have some more content over there. But for now, we're just hanging out, watching the fights tonight. We got Mike and 1204.
Hello.
I'm really excited for this main card, man. I think it's gonna be good.
Dude, best card in a long time.
Yeah, who's your guys' favorite fight of the night? Well, here we go. We got the first.
I want to see Volkov dominate.
I think this week fight is going to be really good, but I can't wait to see Burns. I think Burns has a real chance to pull the upset.
I think
That's the fight I want to see tonight too, just from a viewing perspective.
Well, we know as fans too, Burns has always been better than he gives credit for. I know he fought a lot of guys near the tail end of their career, like Woodley and things of that nature, but he's beat some big names. Yeah, they might have been closer to retirement than their prime, but he's at least been on the stage. This is the first time for Camilo, so we'll see what he does. I mean, he's looked really impressive. He just hasn't fought anyone yet. So Burns is a big step up for him.
Yeah, if he dominates Burns, he's way too good.
Well, if he dominates Burns, then Dana White's going to be really happy because it's going to be an easy sell to get him to the title. But I wouldn't sleep on Burns, man. Burns can
What?
I'm not sleeping on Burns. I think Burns has definitely proven himself. But I rewatched the fights, and that guy he's been almost perfect in his fights. Granted, definitely lesser competition, but Mearshardt's not bad, and he kind of took a different approach than the first two guys, because the first two guys take one swing and Hamzat makes them miss and then takes them down, and then from there it's over. And so Mearshart seemed to be like looking for his spot, and he just kept sliding along. And then Hamzat was like, all right, well, I guess I got to throw first. Okay. And then he hit him and knocked him out, and that was that.
Yeah, he hit him clean too.
I've been watching this fight with Gary. He pretty much, it's been quiet for the most part. He got a leg kick that knocked the guy down, Weeks, but Weeks now has him up against the cage. Now took his back. Still on the cage.
Wait, what minute are you at?
What's that?
I'm only at 3:10 right now.
Oh, I got a little bit earlier than I guess.
Nice.
We'll even out. My bad. I won't give play-by-play then.
Yeah,
once
right.
we get on the pay-per-view, I'm sure it'll all be pretty much about the same.
Yeah, on ESPN right now, but once the pay-per-view starts, obviously we'll change screens. So, Mike, you're an old school guy. Did you heard the United States Football League news, right?
The UFC.
Yeah, Kurt Menefee stepping back into the booth.
Kurt Menefee and Joel Blatt, I think it was, right?
Joe Klatt, yeah. Joe Klatt's really good.
I like Joel Klatt.
A lot of people don't know him, like, as a household name, But think of him. Yeah, he's number 2, I think, to Kirk Herbstreit when it comes to college, in my opinion.
I like Kirk too.
Ooh, you gotta
Al Michaels and Kirk
a little bit more
I
loose.
like Al Michaels.
Yeah, Al's a classic.
Dude, Al Michaels.
There's going to be a passing of the torch, and we'll see who the next people are. Kurt Menefee's a good guy. I mean, so many people are critical of every announcer, and I just say, like, it's not an easy job. I don't think. These guys are pros. Like Joe Buck, everybody. It's the easiest thing to hate Joe Buck, and like probably at some point in my life I hated him too, and then I just kind of realized, like, man, I just hated him because other people hated him.
Right.
You never hear anybody say anything about a commentator. Well, actually, that's not true. Everybody loves Gus Johnson. If you don't like Gus Johnson, you're.
Yeah, I love Gus Johnson.
First of all, if you don't like Gus Johnson or Al Michaels, get out of here.
Gus Johnson is amazing. He is the best. In my opinion.
Yeah, he's cool.
He just gets so into it. Like, he is Mike Emmerich. I don't know for all you hockey fans out there. Doc Emmerich, Mike Emmerich. He was the best hockey. I'll tell you what. I watched a Frozen 4 game the other night. John Butchiegross is pretty damn good too. Getting into he's into it, and he loves hockey. He's always been a huge hockey fan.
Because Butch used to do ESPN, right?
Yeah, no, he still does. The game is on ESPN. It was I just happened to have ESPN 2 on the other day, and it was Frozen 4 Final Four.
So I gotta get your opinion, Mike. What do you think about Herbstreit in the NFL? There are people that literally think that guy can't cover pro football. That's ridiculous.
It's not that he can't. I mean, football is football, and obviously, there's.
Okay, so what do you think about him leaving game day, though?
I'm sad about that. That's more than
I'm happy because I get pissed when people just put that guy in a box. And I think he's been put in a box for too long.
I'm sure he probably feels that way too. So maybe that's why he wants to venture out. That's a good point. I just, as a fan, I'm sad because I love that show. I love him and Lee Corso together, and Reese Davis, or when it was Chris Fowler too, and Desmond Howard and I don't know, and Pollock. Like, I like Pollock a lot too. Like, maybe he'll get more of a role in that, but that show's great. And
I used to love that show before I jumped the shark, and then it was like they had to parade out Lee Corso like some kind of mascot, like literally like a mascot, instead of just in the early days, I thought that show was a lot like TNT. I thought it was organic. I thought the guys really, flowed. And then they were like, you know what? We got their attention now. Let's just put the rabbit back in the hat and make this a gimmick. And then it became kind of silly.
I don't know. They still talk a good amount of football and give their picks and stuff like that. That's what I think people are looking for,
Yeah.
Just those guys, they watch the most football, so I put a lot of stake in their opinion, and I watch a lot of MMA. I mean, I can't say I watch the most. I don't do it full time, so I can't say I do, but I try and watch every weekend when I can, and definitely the later fights. I mean, I catch all the prelims, but some weekends I do. Like today, I've watched some of every fight. I haven't been able to. I've had to cook dinner and stuff like that, but I've watched a good amount of all the fights, and trying to still watch this one. I'm kind of surprised, all the hype Gary's got. He hasn't looked anything dominant at all. I'm not saying he's losing, but I couldn't tell you who's winning right now.
Yeah,
That's what I
right.
think about Burns. I think Burns is gonna take the old boy to the waters, and we're gonna really see what they got.
Take him to the waters.
Gilbert Burns is a different like size guy than he's gone up against too. Like Gilbert
Exactly.
Burns has a huge upper body and torso, and all right, Gary gets off the cage there. Now we'll see if he can do more out in the open.
Man, if Macy Barber loses tonight, I might cry.
Macy Barber's not fighting tonight.
But not Macy Barber.
Mackenzie Dern.
Mackenzie Dern.
No, I like Mackenzie Dern a lot too. I think she's gonna win. I like who's the first fight? Marco Madsen.
See, I'm on the other end of that, man. I like Vince in that fight.
Yeah, no, I mean he's the striker. So it's the old, what do you think? What do you think? Hey, I mean, if he strikes first and lands, it might be lights out. But
head kick.
If Madsen can get him to miss, I mean, this is probably Madsen's biggest step up in competition too. Like, I did double check because I know I've seen him fight, and yeah, his best win, in my opinion, because it's the only name I knew when I looked back up, was Clay Guida, and I'm like,
yeah,
Clay's got a great career. I'm not trying to knock the guy too much, but to win this decision against Clay Guida,
yeah,
that's a good trade.
Like, hey, you didn't get knocked out, and I think Clay's kind of quite the wrestler too. So
it's like saying that you beat
a wrestler like that.
Yeah, it's like saying you beat Cowboy Cerrone at this point. It's like, yeah, congratulations.
I love Cowboy. That's my dude.
Yeah, but he's just a statesman at this point. Just like
Cowboy. Yeah, I'm with you, Logan. I like Cowboy. I'm with you too. What's your name again, man?
12.
I forget. 12. Okay.
Yeah.
But like Cowboy, he's a legend. He's a way bigger legend than Clay Guida, in my opinion, too. But
yeah,
at this point,
but he's the Jamal Crawford of the UFC at this point. Like, he's a good story. He's a Vince Carter.
No, I disagree with that analogy because I think Jamal, even at the end of his career, could still go off. Whereas I don't want to say like I was about to say like he could, Jamal Crowder could still or not Crowder, Jamal Crawford could still play, but
Crawford, yeah, I remember him. Dear Lord,
dude, that guy could just shoot out of his mind.
At shooter, dude. Yeah.
We did see Joe Johnson come back during the COVID year when they were really strapped for players. So yeah. I mean, it's been a crazy couple years for these old guys, man. They're starting to see some resurgence.
I'd love to see Cerrone, come back and make a run though. I'm not trying to. I love him. He's a legend, and he was always a great show, and a winner for a long time. It's just the last few. I hate to say this too, but I think Tony Ferguson might be on that route.
I love Tony.
I love him too, but he's taken a beating in the last few fights, and a couple of them especially. And if he does the same against Michael Chandler, like, it's gonna be a lot of punches to the head. Like, I'm not saying he's gonna get knocked out because that guy seems like he can take anything. He can take a broken arm on a submission.
I'll say it. Chandler beats him in the first round.
I don't know. Tony Ferguson doesn't get knocked out.
I like Tony, but Tony didn't look like Tony the last fight, man. And
he hasn't looked like him in the last few fights. Gaethje, that's what it was. Gaethje just.
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, when Gaethje
took a year off his career. That's It's a cliche line, but
But here's
all right.
the
So
thing.
we got to talk about this fight because there's only 3.5 minutes left, or we're in the final round. I don't know where you guys are at. That's I got 3:40.
Okay, yeah, you're a little bit ahead of me.
So I won't say too much, but you guys go off of what you think, what you've seen in this fight. Gary's got work to do. I don't think he's winning this fight by any means, and I'm almost mad I didn't. Actually now I'm mad because I just remembered I put him in my DraftKings lineup, my FanDuel lineup, and we don't have a sponsor with either of them, so we should shout out both of them. So whoever wants to get the score first, give us that sponsorship money. Just saying. I also got to work on my camera shake because I keep getting out of focus, but I'm trying to watch the fight, and once I'll have it settled by the pay-per-view.
Yeah, we're gonna give it that. And by the way, while we're talking about promotion, our next show, I do have some big stuff coming. I've been talking to a lot of DFS people, and they gave us some advice on some of the new content we're going to be pumping out for the United States Football League. So we got some big names going to be gracing our presence in terms of DMs and voicemails and that kind of nature.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I just want to line it up, and there wasn't enough time to do it tonight to make sure we could do it with the right kind of production. So I just want to hang out with the boys tonight. But I'm telling you, we're gonna do something big. I mean, we were number 2 on the list. If you search the United States Football League this week, we had 158 views or something like that already. So I've been making some moves.
Interested. People like football. Oh, Gary just leaves a shot. I'm sorry, but all right. Weeks gets up, but
just like this sport, Mike. People like to bet, dude, and UFC has been really good at like the live betting and accepting it. And the United States Football League is going to be doing a lot of innovative things, including like a in-season hard knocks, like full access. Like they've really embraced their digital market. Woo! That was a big shot. You were right.
He gets right back up though, and that obviously by my reaction, you can tell like not much else happens.
You guys are going to see me because first of all, that's kind of the vibe I want to give of this podcast. I want this to be like a big family feel. I don't want it to be a buttoned-up podcast, at least not yet. I want it to kind of feel organic and feel fresh. But I am cooking. Mike talked about cooking earlier.
What are you cooking?
I'm cooking some pork and eggs, man. I'm on that keto high protein diet.
Sounds good. I like eggs and pork. Like a pork chop?
Like one of those pork finger ones all chopped up, man.
Oh, okay.
Pure solid meat. It's great. Ooh, got him in a bind right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to call this one. I'll let you guys, if you have an opinion.
I'll call it like a rock.
I know what I think. Actually, I just don't want to sway the.
I think they'll give it to Gary.
Yeah, they're giving it to Gary.
You think so? I don't think
if it continues like this,
I think the other guy had all the octagon control. I know that's not a big thing, but like he was the one that was more aggressive.
I would agree. I'm telling you, when a fight is close and they have a favorite, I think they lean towards the favorite. And I'm not saying
right.
What I'm saying is a natural human bias. Like
I'd be sad if I took leaks. I mean, I'll be happy if they give it to Gary. And then maybe I wasn't watching. That was the thing. I was asking if you guys, because maybe I've been, we're talking and I'm pretty distracted watching the fight.
It's over.
Let's watch the highlights. Let's see what they show. Yeah, this is the kick knockdown. And so he's got 2 knockdowns. He got the kick knockdown and he got I think I missed that kick to the face.
I love that, man.
They're showing all Gary highlights, so you might be right.
Man,
You
I
might be
like.
right. They
I
showed
love.
only Gary highlights, and I swear every time I was looking up, it was Weeks who had position. He had him up against the cage.
Man, I love the sportsmanship of this of the UFC, though, man.
Oh, it's so insane.
Wow.
Dude, I love how the Warriors will give each other credit. I really do.
Yeah.
Like, by the way, let's run this fight back. I'll say that again. This fight was good. Let's run these boys back again.
They won't do that. Maybe later on in the careers.
That's
If
what I'm saying. Like right now, I'm saying like
Oh,
I
that was
can
a
see.
good fight. Yeah, these were
I
all
don't know if
pretty
you
good.
guys have gotten the decision yet.
What do you think about the sucker punch while we wait for the decision of Masvidal?
I've gone back and forth. I mean,
Fuck Masvidal.
I think both of them. I think both of those guys are wrong. I'll just say that. Like,
yeah, that's fair. That's
I don't
fair.
care
Two
if
wrongs don't make it right.
I don't care if one of them loses a tooth and the other one loses a lip. I think my official stance is they were both wrong, so they both deserve what they get.
So you guys see the decision?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I was watching then, but every time I looked up, it felt like granted I did see the knockdowns, I saw the big punch, and you saw my reaction, but I just thought every other time it was Weeks closing the distance, and Gary kind of just sliding around side to side,
Yeah. Now I get that Gary's Irish, so the Conor McGregor thing is like obviously any Irish guy just is gonna get compared to Conor, but I saw a lot of Thompson in this kid.
Are you talking about Steven Thompson?
Yeah.
Who are you talking about?
I think the look for sure too.
Yeah. If I had to say something,
I mean, if you really think about it, Connor's original style is very similar to Stephen Thompson too. They're kickboxers. They got good spinning attacks, and obviously Connor's hands are great. Stephen's hands are very good. I just don't. I know most of Stephen Thompson's kind of his kicks. I feel like I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that he's more of a KO guy with the feet.
no,
Connor will get you with the shoulder, like Cerrone.
Yeah, that was nasty, dude.
Yeah, I never seen anybody like. Now you see it more. Maybe I just never noticed it happening before, but like that was the first time somebody really pointed it out. Okay, we got the pay-per-view starting up.
Joe Rogan wants to go take a smoke break.
You like the nicotine. What are you gonna do?
Okay, we have 2 fights, and then the card starts.
Nah. Oh, I see what you mean. I'm excited for these 2 fights though. We got Mackenzie Dern, who's Logan's one of his top fans.
she's my dog, man.
I think she's pretty dominant on the ground, and also like I don't know if I think their weight classes are probably different, slightly,
Well, One of the
Her
most-
and Amanda would be a great fight.
One of the
Come on.
most underrated things about Mackenzie Dern, though, is her chin. She can take a shot. She might be one of the toughest women in terms of shot for shot out there. Like everyone knows that she can grapple, but she's got a hell of a chin.
And she gave birth.
Yeah, better than any of us in this panel.
None of the men have ever done that.
I had kidney stones. I say it's comparable. That is not fair.
That actually, from what I've heard, and according to women, I don't know. But women have said that kidney stones are worse than giving birth, and they would be able to compare.
Yeah, I'm saying I can't compare. I just saying I heard, and they're not pleasant. I'll tell you that. So shout out to all of them.
I've known people to have kidney stones, and they've said it's the worst thing ever.
That would hurt.
It's just like severe lower back pain that is never.
Is Pennington ever going to be like really good though, or is she just going to be like the female fighter? Every time she gets pounded out, she shocks you, but like anytime she's given a chance to get a title, she's just never going to get there. Because remember, she took tonight's fight on short notice.
Who was that? Last Pennington.
No, Pennington.
Yeah. So what was the thing you said?
I'm saying like when she fights somebody that she's favored to beat, or that people like think that she'll beat, she always takes care of those women. But anytime she faces like the top 5, she always loses. It seems like.
Yeah, I think for Cal Pennington, I think she's on the upward trend in her career. So I think Aspen Ladd might have just caught her at the wrong time, and then also being at short notice, she didn't have the time to prepare like she probably would have wanted either. But
yeah, no one ever talks about that.
A lot of shots. Like she was very. I know who am I to judge, but like she had her hands up a lot, and like I get you do that for to try and like the distance and stuff like that, and you're able to control their hand. When you can control one hand, you have a lot. But she didn't throw anything, or she didn't throw enough, and Raquel she had a lot of combos in her game, and she was letting it. I wonder too, especially she reserved when she needed to, but she also unloaded late in the rounds to really secure the first 2, which is what gave her the win.
Raquel's always been that woman though that's always done really well against the people that I would consider less than. But anytime she faces like the upper echelon, that's usually when she fails. And part of me feels bad because like you want to cheer for her story. Like she seems like a lovely person.
Yeah.
Angela Hill also I'm a big fan of her from a humanitarian standpoint. She seems pretty awesome. I watched her on the Joe Rogan Experience once or twice. Some of the fighters give the best interviews, man. If you guys watch Morning Combat or the GRE, so they have some of these fighters, they're some of the most open people that you'll ever meet. Even the boxers, man. I find fighters to be like the most vulnerable people. I guess it's because they know they can kick your ass, so they're not afraid to share their real feelings.
It's funny.
Yeah. Derek Lewis is one of my favorite interviews.
I love Derek Lewis, dude.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
He's my favorite heavyweight.
I haven't met anyone who doesn't like Derek Lewis.
Yeah, right.
No, I remember one of my buddies telling me like, "Oh my God, because because I was like, I don't. This is several years ago, so he hadn't been on the upward swing. He's really been on, but I was like, I don't know if he's that good. Like, and that was partially me just judging him because I'm like, he doesn't look like he's in that great of shape. And mind you, he can kick my ass. I can't talk, but my friend was like, oh, but he's so fucking funny. Like, you got to just listen to him in the interviews after the fight when he wins. And man, it's not just it's after the fight. It's in the pre-fight interviews. Like, this guy has no filter.
I'll be right back.
He can always like turn any question into a great funny line. Like,
dude,
he's all chill.
The UFC lost so much money when they had the chance to book him against Greg Hardy. I would have loved to see it. America would have loved to see it. And you know why, Mike, right?
Why?
So Lewis's mom,
the beating.
dated a person who,
Yeah.
Lewis was like, "Let me in the cage with that boy." And usually Lewis is a funny guy. He got stone cold serious, and I was like, I would love to see a serious Lewis, like a really motivated Lewis. I would have just liked to see it.
Yeah, no, I think that would have been a good. Did Hardy get cut?
Probably he deserved to be.
He definitely deserves to be if he hasn't been. They might keep him around because he's still a draw. It's funny they but sorry, I got a text. I was checking it out, but
You're good, man. They cut Phil Baroni too pretty quickly.
Who?
Whatever that guy's last name was, CM Punk.
Oh,
Phil Brooks. That's his real name.
CM Punk wasn't any good though. No, I mean they give guys a chance. They usually give guys 3 fights, but if you go 0-3, you just get cut. And like Mickey Gall was actually who CM Punk lost to in his first fight. I remember that.
Yeah.
Because I believe it was Mickey Gall's first UFC fight. But like, and Mickey Gall is good. He just ran into another guy who is really good tonight too. Like,
if Burns pulls the upset, Mike, I think I squeak into the money on DraftKings.
you got to add 12 back.
Oh, that's right. But Burns
thing in the chat, and I was like, we got a message.
Burns is only 11% on DraftKings. If he can pull the upset, I'll be back in the money.
No, for sure. If Burns pulls the upset, you're good. Wow, we have one better. So, do you guys have that on your screen? Are we on the same wavelength right now? One better put 25 or 207,000 on Volkanovski, Peter Yan, and Hamza. So all the favorites to win.
No way.
I'm guessing that would pay even money. Did you guys see that at the same time as me, or are we?
I haven't pulled it up yet.
You guys think the UFC is the new WWE or what?
As in it's fake or scripted, or as in it's taking over as the dominant thing to watch because no one cares about WWE?
Yeah.
Which one?
You're second.
Oh, I'm just now seeing that. Holy.
Okay, well, thanks for the view, man. Thanks. Hey man, I don't mind if you hate, if you love, you still come in here and give us attention. So either way, it works for me, man.
Hey, somebody's trolling.
Bronson. Yay. Who's Bronson? Is he talking about Derek Brunson?
I have no idea.
Derek Brunson.
But someone watched a UFC podcast or the United States football podcast and was Russian. I don't know if he was talking positive or negative or what he was doing, but
Well, we'll assume everyone. We should assume everyone's being positive, unless it's.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
Even if they were to curse it as, I would think like maybe it's like fun love, you know.
what I'm saying to you, if you watch this and you're the Russian guy who watched our football podcast last week, I don't know what you said, buddy. I haven't put it in the translation yet. But I'll get my boy Khabib on it, and he'll tell me what you said.
Khabib likes goats.
Khabib is a man.
Okay, what do we got here? Mark Madsen against that other guy?
Madsen against Vince Pichel. Vince Pichel looks like the guy you would have fought in the game Red Dead Redemption 2 at one of the bars.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I'll be right back. Give me 2 minutes.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
With injuries and layoffs hopefully a thing of the past, Michelle approaches his 10th year on the UFC roster.
Oh, he does look like a boss from Red Dead Redemption.
He does. He really does. I like that suit that Megan's got on, by the way. You know, Orly, she does some football too. I had no idea. She's actually versatile. She's got some skills.
She's actually what?
She does some football too.
Yeah, she does do football.
Yeah, I like her. She's got some skills. She's not afraid to mix it up either.
I love her, dude. She's awesome.
I mean, I know they think that Burns is going to get rolled, but to get him at 11% ownership on DraftKings seems like a pretty good take.
Dude, he was so cheap. Like, what the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. Not only was he cheap, but to be that cheap and only 11%, like, it'd be like taking a golfer that was like in the 6,000s, but actually like had a good chance to win. And usually that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Even in football, like you take the 4K running back to open up other things, you're not expecting him to go and score 100 points. Burns could easily get a knockout tonight and score 100 points on DraftKings.
He could.
That'd be insane.
I heard you guys talking about it when I got back. He being so cheap, and I agree. It is crazy to see a guy that talented.
This is
as the bottom guy. That was unbelievable to me.
To give you an idea, Mike, Weeks was like $500 more on DraftKings than Burns.
Yeah. I was on FanDuel and he was the cheapest guy on FanDuel, tied with one other guy. I can't remember who it was now, but I was just like, man. And I wasn't comfortable taking him just because I'm like, So the thing that you said, he was like, he could get knocked out tonight, and I'm like, he could, because you know what? I haven't seen Hamzat even take a single punch. I have
What?
no idea if this guy has a chin or not. He's got a big beard, so it looks like his chin is huge, but it's a distraction. He has no chin at all. But seriously, no one's landed anything. I think
Yeah.
maybe 2 punches in his whole thing, and it's like from the bottom when they're getting pummeled. It's just some guy who's just like, get off me.
Well, I don't know how often you play golf. If you play golf DFS at all, Mike.
I don't, but I'd get into it more. I thought about doing a lineup, but then I backed out of the Masters.
I never used to be into it, and then all these young bombers came along, and they just. What I liked about the young bombers coming along is they made all these old people really mad, so I started paying attention, and I got hooked. But what I was telling 12 though is like you get these $6,000 golfers, right? And you basically take the $6,000 golfers just to be able to afford the guys at the top. To get Burns as cheap as he was tonight on DraftKings, and he honestly has a puncher's chance, again, to use that analogy that gets overused. But in fights, like, it's not, you're not taking that 4K running back and hoping he gets 5 carries. I mean, Burns could easily score 100 points tonight.
He could. He could. If he gets the win, I mean, that's all it's going to be. But he could, because he's definitely the biggest step up. And, yeah, maybe he's going to have a better game plan than the other 4 guys. But, yeah, it's just going to come down to, you know, well, like, I'm just excited to see is, I guess, all I'm trying to say, because I can't wait. I want to see if Hamzat's the real deal or
Right.
he's good. Like, he's obviously really good. But is he the next Sean Jones?
Yeah.
All right. So where are you guys at on the your stream?
All
Kind of behind.
All you know is 8 o'clock.
I didn't catch either of you guys.
Oh, they haven't done a clock yet.
Yeah, there's no clock yet. But like, where are you? Like, are they in the octagon? Like, have both guys entered the octagon yet?
They're showing the light heavyweight breakdown. Bruce Buffer just came on screen.
Yeah, it's about where I'm at.
Okay, yeah. They've been announcing Mark O'Madsen, and now that he's doing Michelle.
I actually think we caught up to you a little bit, Mike. I think you're still ahead of us, but I don't think you're as far ahead.
Are they doing Pushel now? Like, is he on the screen, Pushel?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then good. We're not too far off. I'm glad, because I was gonna just like, I don't want to be spoiler alert.
No, me and 12 watch a lot of football together in our Discord channel, so we're used to all being different times. So we're pretty good about not spoiling things.
All right. Well, I might if I am ahead. I apologize, but
No,
you cannot spoil the good fights. That's not happening.
Okay.
There's no
Well,
way.
They just touched gloves. Where you at?
when I say don't spoil, I mean just don't tell me who wins. Don't be like, oh, he just got knocked out. You know.
Yeah. Right.
Has a fight started for you guys?
Huh?
Did the fight start yet?
No.
Okay. We still got some time.
Yeah, you can hoop and holler, just don't like announce the winner.
All right. Fair enough.
That's my thing. That's kind of what we do in football. It's like you can say ooh and ah, but don't say who.
Alrighty. Just started for me.
My new job's been going great, Mike, by the way.
Congrats, man. What you doing?
Really helping some people out. I'm a crisis intervention specialist. So we run like a chat service, and we help provide services of mental health to people.
That's awesome, man. And I'm sure you're
It's like a crisis. It's like crisis.
really would help in that.
Yeah, it's like crisis hotline work, but instead of doing it over the phone, we do it on a chat service.
These coaches have been interesting tonight.
By the way, what do you think of the new artwork, Mike? The new layout
For
the UFC. They got a new time banner and everything. Luke was talking about it.
Oh,
like
that round one thing.
For the ring.
Yeah, like the graphics.
Yeah, it used to be the little boxes, and each one would fill up or something. Yeah.
Yeah, they made it colored because they think that people will be able to see it better. But like it's more eye popping.
Yeah, it's clean.
I honestly didn't notice until he pointed it out. I'll be completely transparent. I was like, it is different, but
One, round two, round three thing.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That
I mean,
did look a little weird when I started.
You
you know, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
Because, sorry, I just didn't catch on to what you were saying at first, but I barely noticed it. Well, these guys are talking a little bit. More, it looks like Pichel is talking a little bit.
See, but that's how I would be too. Like if I played sports, it's not that I'd be trash talking, but talking kind of relaxes me.
Yeah.
I think it was more of a like, oh, you almost got me, or I don't know, either almost or you did, but he didn't seem too bothered by it either. Like
We mentioned him earlier, but I heard Tony Ferguson is one of the biggest talkers in the UFC during his fight.
I believe that guy,
Kevin Holland.
Diaz.
But I heard that Tony doesn't even talk trash. It's more he like talks to himself, like he chants to himself like an Indian. That's at least what I heard. Like he's very tribal.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I've seen him say something.
I believe that we will win.
Yeah, he like hypes himself up. People say it is a bit odd.
Well, there wasn't too much going on in the fight. I mean, guys landing here and there, but no one being truly dominant.
Ooh.
But coming up, you guys are gonna see. Let me make a quick move. Should be coming up in the next like 15, 20 seconds if I think I'm right.
Isn't it amazing though, Mike?
Super significant, but
I don't think enough people talk about this that follow the sport. How important your feet are, man, in this sport. Like one slip, on some sweat or just the way you plant your feet are so important.
Yeah.
yeah, no, it definitely is. Footwork, head movement, those two things are hand in hand, and it really, a lot of times the power you can gain is all in like from your back foot when you strike. So you really have to, it's just like being the quarterback and throwing the football. Like you don't think throwing the football, what the heck does that have to do with your footwork? But actually, yeah, it's quite a lot. It helps a lot when you have the right footwork, I should say. If you got power, you got power. But if you back power up with science and physics, you only get more power.
Damn, I think they're going to keep this pace too for the next round.
Yeah, they both. So you guys almost done with the round, finishing up.
Yeah, it just ended.
Madsen got the takedown in that round. Other than that, strike and the striking stand-up seemed about even. So I'd probably give that round to Madsen, but I got the whole this fight wrong.
I would give it to Madison just based on the wrestling. I thought he did enough as a wrestler that round to give it.
Yeah, he got Pichel got up though. I mean, he got him down and then held him down for a little bit and did a little work down there. But
I'm just saying, like, he didn't do any damage, but he still get credit for the takedown itself. So
yeah, no. So I think the takedown probably because that was
See,
people
I'm
posted on I don't know who Jordan Patu is, or Aaron Bronson, but it seems like everybody's given the one to Madison so far. Who's tweeting about it that the UFC's posting?
Well, it's just 9-8, right?
man, I like that the UFC does that. They have a great.
Definitely not a 10-8 round. No way. It's definitely 10-9. I mean, and I still think Madsen did. I don't think Pichel did really a whole lot of anything. Since Madsen had that takedown, it's kind of just like, all right, he did the one big thing in the round. That's kind of how I would score it. Pichel's interesting. He's got, I don't know, he just got happy feet for a second where he just kind of back and forth. Man, he definitely looks like he's got some power in those arms.
Oh, he definitely does.
He's got power in that mustache. I mean, you can't discount the mustache.
Mike's trying to get a man shape ad.
Hey, whoever wants to advertise with us, crypto.com, I could use some crypto. Crypto sponsor the UFC. We're doing a UFC podcast. Like, hey, we're just trying to promote what you promote. We promote you. I will talk about crypto like I'm talking about crypto now, and all I have to say is .com after it. I've already shown you I can do that. Tom Brady giving out crypto like it's his job. Oh, here we go. Interesting. I won't say anything more than that for now for the next 50 seconds because I think that's about it.
Mike says that might be
It's not over by any means. It just I won't say anything else.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Like I say, I don't mind just hooping and hollering. Just don't tell me how it ends.
Yeah. Yeah, I should just be like, okay, pay attention in 50 seconds.
Right.
Give you a play-by-play of what I remember happening.
No, I've been in your position before. You're the one ahead.
Pay attention. Pay attention. This second round is interesting. It gets interesting. I don't think I've ever quite seen this positioning in the UFC. This is, when I say interesting, wow. This is.
God, I can see that guy's ribs sticking out of his fucking stomach.
Wow. That was a very unique grappling situation with the feet. That's all I'll say.
Well,
you guys take down.
Well, we do see it in other sports. We're starting to see these unicorn athletes, man, in this positionalist sports. I really do think we're seeing some unique athleticism in all the sports.
Yeah.
Look, when you guys get to the parts of that I'm leading up to, if you can say what happens to the viewers, I think I don't want to give anything away too early, but I also don't want to leave them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay, these guys are playing footsies or
It
something.
almost sounds like we're watching fireworks, and now we're just like, ooh.
I got 1:03, but I can try to find a different a different
No,
outlet.
you're good. I'm just saying, like, once you see the takedown or whatever, like, give a little play-by-play of what's going on, because I can do that if you want, but I'm just going to be way earlier than you guys.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I think that's what people are probably looking for, you know, a little, just not full play-by-play, but a little bit of what's going on in the action. And
I'll just let the people know I'm at 40 seconds right now, but for the main card, I might actually try to find a different stream where I'm a bit.
No, that's fine wherever you're at. I'm just saying, if you're the last one, say what's happening, because then we've all seen it. We can then.
I see.
All right, Logan.
I think you're the last one, so you're the perfect one to give. Again, you don't have to give play-by-play, but say where you're at if you're the last one, and then we'll all be able to say what we know is going on and give our feedback on what we think's happening. Because I think Madsen got the takedown, but I don't know. Pichel barked at him at the end of that round like he won the. I'm like, man, Madsen, I think's up 2-0.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Take this guy down and beat the shit out of him.
Put him down again. Like, that's what I mean. Like,
what was that at the end? He kind of like stuck out his ass, and then they pushed him, and I don't know. That was a strange way to end it. Let's watch some of these highlights. Ooh, I saw a nice body kick on the highlight.
Pichel definitely coming out more aggressive in the third round.
Oh, he was definitely more aggressive. I mean, that hook landed.
No, right now, I mean, like coming out in the third round.
Oh, come out in the third. I think.
No, everybody's saying 2-2 after 19-19. And yeah, Pichel. All right, Madsen's answering a little bit. Yeah, I guess it's all going to come down to this third round here. So yeah, Logan, let us know when your round's starting and where you're at.
Oh yeah, it's because he's down 0-2.
A lot of people were saying it was 1-1. Yeah, I disagreed personally, but I thought Pichel answered late, but I thought Madsen did enough early, and maybe. His takedowns, he didn't do much with the takedowns. I'll give him that. Once he gets the guy down, he does kind of just George St. Pierre him and lay on and position him and land some strikes.
I'm at 405 right now, and I see Madsen trying to wrestle him.
Okay, so Madsen's going down?
No, yeah. It just worked towards the middle. There's 3 minutes and 51 seconds left.
Okay.
I switched streams to try to get one faster. I have to do it. I have to watch it through my
phone. It's really all good. It's just we gotta probably give more of a.
Right now, I was watching a podcast before we went live, and they were having the same issue. They were saying, like having these watch parties is great, but there's got to be a way where we can all watch the same stream. But then still,
on Discord.
But provide a watchable product for the people without giving away copyright, infringement.
Right. No, well, I mean, if we gave a play-by-play, it's not copyright infringement.
Right, but like as it goes on throughout of like streaming and.
Because like even the people watching are watching at a different time than us, most likely.
Right.
Yeah. And they're probably not watching the fight if they're listening to us. So that, like when I used to try and if I couldn't get the fight, I would go to YouTube and stream and try and find a free live stream, knowing it probably wasn't going to happen. But I'd find somebody who's doing a live play-by-play or watch party like this. So
right,
this is good enough. I mean, if you can give me a radio broadcast, it's the same thing. It's like the olden days.
These kids don't know about that, right?
Madsen's been working him on the ground now for a couple minutes.
Well, Well, Madsen is an Olympic wrestler. He might be the best wrestler in the
Exactly. So and then going into the fight, I knew Michelle. I heard it, I think, on Morning Combat actually from Luke Thomas that Michelle's only got like a 25% takedown defense, and that kind of me knowing I've seen Madsen fight and be a dominant wrestler, knowing he was an Olympic gold medalist. I think it was gold medalist. I could remember.
Dude,
Like, probably gonna be able to get a takedown against this guy or two.
I love Luke Thomas.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna lock it up. I mean, there's still plenty of time left in the round, but he hasn't given up the ground for at least a couple minutes. So I don't see it happening the rest of this fight, and I think he's gonna secure the win.
I don't care what anyone says. I think Luke Thomas is the best. Is the best breakdown guy.
Breakdown guy, absolutely. I love listening to him talk about.
Him and Chuck Mendenhall are really good. And Brian Campbell, man, Brian Campbell is valuable too.
I love BC.
I couldn't be happier that they won Podcast of the Year either.
I listen to them. I'm a subscriber. I listen to them probably 3 times a week, almost every week. Pretty much that's all their podcasts, all their main podcasts. Sometimes the post UFC fight, like tonight, if he does one after midnight, right after the fight.
Yeah, he already said he's gonna do it.
Yeah. Pretty much as I'm going to bed, I'm just like, I'll listen to people talk about fighting. I'll listen to the press conferences and stuff like that, man. I love this sport. It's unlike any other sport I've ever been a fan of, and I love all sports. So,
Yeah,
but this is just different. It's one-on-one, mano a mano, and these guys are savages. These guys have so
You guys are
much
beasts.
what I like about it is
like,
the art of it, man. Like how
yeah.
they really do love each other, man.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's beautiful about this sport is the respect shown. Like it is all about martial arts, like the law of martial arts.
I think Madsen will win based on his wrestling, but man, did Victor
He won that fight. He has to win that fight. If he didn't win that fight, you can tell by their body language right now. Michelle is pissed.
but
His mustache always goes like this, but he's sad face. And Madsen won definitely.
If Michelle kept the pressure, he could have won.
If he what?
If he kept the pressure, he could have won.
Yeah, I mean, in the second round, he did it like enough to win that round, I think. Yeah. All right, 3. All right. It doesn't say if he was a medalist. He was a 3-time Greco-Roman Olympic wrestler.
I believe he was a silver medalist. Because somebody was trying to dog him on Twitter about it. But dude, he won a silver medal. That's better than most people could ever dream to do.
We got any people in the viewership or the chat?
Not tonight.
Not tonight. Surprised, like in the search, we're not getting any hits.
We might tomorrow though. You would be surprised how many people will go back and watch stuff like this.
It's true, but I'm just like, how does it? I'm like,
I'm getting tired.
how do people, searching for a live play-by-play or a live watch party.
Well, we're going against some bigger watch parties tonight, and some people will illegally stream, even though Uncle Dana does not like it when you do it. There's a
I
lot.
know, I'm not saying
This guy does have a George St.
Tisha
Pierre look to him, though.
Torres. These two ladies are beautiful. So we haven't talked about the Sterling and Jan fight at all.
We haven't.
What are you thinking happens in that fight? We got the rematch.
I don't know, but it's personal.
I think Aljamain and Sterling is being a little. I know you got to do a little bit to sell the fight and whatnot, but to bring the helmet to the press conference, he brought the Jags helmet to the press conference, and I don't know, he just kept throwing shade at like, oh, I don't know what this guy's gonna do. He might do something illegal. I think I understand he definitely did do something illegal in the last fight, but I also think in the heat of the fight, like you definitely need to know what you got to do and what to watch out for and not to do illegally. But
Well,
yeah, Jan should have never raised his hand. Oh, well.
in a fight though, we got to realize that they could die. The stakes are different in the UFC than they are in like basketball or baseball. They just are. Tempers are going to flare. But I do think that's kind of the negative. The negative of the Conor McGregor era is a lot of people call one way to sell a fight, and now it's just like you're always going to get those people that have that gimmick, or they try to do it, and you can tell the people who do it out of like true passion, and the people who do it for show. I'll say it that way.
yeah, no, I feel you on that.
Do you give the Zombie any chance to win tonight?
I do actually.
Not really.
I give him a good amount. Like I didn't put much on him, like $20, but I just think it's worth it. 5-1, 20-1, 100. I'm looking at Volkanovski's UFC career. All right, he's beaten Holloway. The second fight, he got the win against Holloway. A lot of people dispute whether or not he actually won that fight. Now, granted, 3 judges gave him the fight, or 2 out of 3 did, or maybe it might have been unanimous. I don't know, can't remember. But anyway, he definitely. I think he won that Ortega fight. I'm not trying to dispute and say Ortega won it. I thought Volkanovski had an amazing fight, even getting out of those crazy submissions. That was a wild fight. That could have been fight of the year.
It was a wild fight.
But Volkanovski doesn't finish anybody. He just doesn't. And and you can say this about other opponents, or other opponents have had reach on him, but like Volkanovski is the smaller fighter every time he fights, pretty much. And I just think like it's worked for him. you know, he's made it. You know, he's gotten it to work for him, and he's gotten the wins. But I think sooner or later, like someone is going to be able to catch him, and I just I it's the UFC. It's just like it's actually crazier than boxing with the the one strike ability. Like all it takes is one good clean shot, and your night could be over. And so I definitely give Zombie a shot. I want to be playing that song from the Cranberries later.
But okay, so Mackenzie Dern, has she ever developed any kind of striking at all? She's a real tough as a champion, right?
I think she is championship material. I think she has superior ground game and good enough striking.
Me too. But I don't want to fanboy too hard. I'm a huge fan.
I am too. But it's funny that I know you had texted me about her like weeks ago coming up to this fight, like you knew she was on the card and she was like one of your, if not your top, like can't wait to see her fight and bet on her. And I was like, damn, I didn't know somebody else felt the same way, that I think she is that great. Like she is.
Yeah.
I think she lost to Marina Rodriguez, which was a really close fight, and Marina Rodriguez is really good. Yeah, they're actually showing the standings right now, and Marina's 16-1-2, so, and she's ahead of Mackenzie Dern. So I'm assuming that I'm pretty sure I got it right, but she like.
Well, you got to remember, Dern hasn't really worked on her striking for very long in comparison. If the striking even catches 50% of what her grappling could be, she could be dominant.
Yeah, I think she's getting there though. Like
I do too.
When I've seen her fight, I know I'm most impressed with her ground game, but I think I've never thought her stand-up game was lacking.
Right. Well, I never thought it couldn't get there. Like Ronda, I knew Ronda was never going to be a good striker. But
She quit. I think you can get there.
Yeah.
You just can't quit after someone punches you in the face for the first time.
That's where you got to give Conor McGregor some credit. At least Conor tucked his losses on the chin for the most part.
Oh, this is a rematch?
Oh, really? You might be right.
Do we ever see Khabib again?
I wish.
You said you wish?
I wish.
I kind of don't miss him because his fights were like, that's what I worry about Hamzat. Like his fights would get boring. Like if a guy just like can somehow drag a guy to the ground and then lay on him and maul him, like granted it's dominant. So I'm not saying I don't respect how dominant and like superior he is, but
I like it, but I wouldn't want to see everyone fight that way. And Khabib, the whole thing about Khabib, like the fact that he retired before he had to, there's a mystique about that. Like if he came back, I don't know, it might ruin it.
Yeah, but like
he still trains.
Yeah, he's huge now though. He looks huge when you see him.
He is huge.
But like just as far as like a Volkanovski versus Khabib, I would 100 times rather watch a Volkanovski fight over a Khabib fight, because as dominant as Volkanovski's been, I feel like there is that chance he could lose. Like I still think he's probably going to come out on top. I think Zombie, they say he's pretty heavy on his front leg, his left foot, like where he's heavy, like leaning on it because he's going for strikes with his hands first.
Mhm.
The problem with that is you're just like setting yourself up to get your leg chopped off by Volkanovski's leg kicks. And I think Volkanovski's probably well aware of that, if I'm aware of that. And he's just going to probably start right off early on in the fight going for the leg kicks. The one thing I've seen in watching some of Zombie's fights when I was checking up on it, he seems to not be too affected by leg kicks. He's kind of just a zombie, like his
Yeah.
name. So it might not be that big of a problem for him. That's what I'm interested to see. And I definitely think he's got some nice striking precision and power.
I'm glad you brought it up though, Mike, because if you're not a fight fan or a fighter yourself, I don't think people realize how painful and how quickly those leg kicks add up, man.
Yeah, they hurt.
Your legs are getting chopped at all night, man. I mean, that affects the way you walk so quickly. Like one bad, if you don't check a leg kick the right way, I mean, that could ruin your whole night really quickly. I know they don't look like much on TV, but I'm telling you, they are really, really painful.
Yeah.
I believe that I wouldn't want to get kicked in anywhere in the shins, for sure. I wouldn't want to get kicked. I'd be worried if I got kicked in the knees that it would do ligament damage, and like I wouldn't want to get kicked at all. Period. Yeah. I don't even know how these guys are even that comfortable doing the kicking, because I feel like, you know, half the time your shin is going to be the part that lands on their body, and like,
oh yeah,
if you go shin to shin, that's still got to fucking hurt your shin.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt.
That's the beautiful thing about Twitter. Like there's a lot of bad things about social media, but some of the good things is you get to see some instant reactions. And you'll see like the winners of fighters, they'll post like pictures of post fight pictures, and you'll see some bruises. You think like, oh, they must have lost, and you're like, no, they're the winner. And you're like, oh wow. Some of these images look like car crashes at the end of these fights.
Yeah. We'll be right back. I'm going to use the bathroom, but we got a minute till the fight starts.
Yeah, you got a minute. They got a Vaseline. Kenzie doing all up, make sure she doesn't have any cuts on her.
Did you eat yet, Logan?
I'm eating right now.
Nice.
I don't usually like to eat this late, but I made the exception tonight.
Holy shit, finally, dude.
The Brazilians always have respect for the octagon too. That's what I like about it.
What, Mike just dipped out?
I'm sure he'll be back. What do you think about Bruce Buffer's suit tonight?
It's probably fire, right?
It's a shamrock green suit.
Nice. Yeah, I just ate. I got some of those hot Cheez-Its. They're pretty good.
This one's made with Tabasco.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to eat those as a kid. I don't eat any snack like that now, though.
Yeah. I mean, eggs are still good with hot sauce.
Oh yeah, hot sauce is a staple. There he is. Welcome back, Mike.
Wow, Mike, how unprofessional.
Oh, I did miss some time.
You know, he had to pull his best Brian Campbell. Brian Campbell's been using the bathroom by Luke Thomas right in the middle of the podcast like the last 3 times.
Well, you know, I mean, I didn't have to take a shit, but you know, when you gotta take a shit, you gotta take a shit. But again,
Yep.
Good. I'm saying if an award-winning podcast can do it, then we can do it for sure.
you know, if I was getting paid for this podcast and was told not to pee in the middle of it, I would hold it. I would just say, I'll suck it up for 5 hours. I can do it.
Yeah, I work remotely and I still pee every day.
You still pee every day?
Yep, I still do it.
I would hope so.
I hate the way girls.
Ooh, these ladies are feisty, getting after it.
Right.
Oh my goodness. I don't even. I love women's MMA. It's a great sport.
Yeah.
I don't think the UFC gives them a platform.
You hope what?
I said, I love that the UFC gives them a platform.
Absolutely.
Oh, dude, her toes are painted. Isn't that cheating? It's like,
Style points.
We do have some viewers. Kitty Cat is predicting fights over here in our comment section.
Oh, let's put it up, man. Why can't I see it? Oh, there
what's
we go.
going on, Kitty Cat?
Yeah, Kitty Cat. Kamzat going to win the next fight. I hope so. Logan disagrees.
I disagree.
I got burned, but how do you think he's
Yeah.
gonna win? That's the important part. Like, you think it's first round knockout?
You watching the fight?
This fight right here is entertaining. I'll say that. But I like all aspects of the UFC or just combat sports in general. Like, I'm not a person that's like, oh, they got to stand up or they got to do this. Wherever you take a fight, I'm interested.
Yeah, the chick in the black shorts is pretty good.
That's Mackenzie.
Of course it is, dude.
Oh, she is.
Second round KO, eh? From Kitty Cat, she says.
I believe it. I don't think if he wins, it's definitely. I don't think he's gonna let it go the distance.
No, that fight's not going the distance.
Well, I mean, if Gilbert were to win, you know, because he's being more, efficient and Hamza's not being able to do what he wants to do, then I could see it going the distance. I could see that being how Gilbert wins. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I want to see. I want to see him get
Again,
tested. He can win. I just want to see him get tested, is all.
So I have no idea what that guy's chin's like. He might have the chin of a beast. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
He could probably take a great, but he looks like a physical freak. So I'm sure he probably could do well, but Kitty Cat, you got anybody in this fight? The ladies fight? 12, I don't know who you like in this fight. I know me and Logan both like Mackenzie.
Yeah, same.
Mackenzie Dern just always seems like, obviously they're the same weight at weight cut time, but
She always looks bigger, doesn't she?
she always looks bigger than her opponents. Like taller and more muscular. But you know what that reminds me of?
Brock Lesnar.
Well, that's different because that's heavyweight. But like Hamzat Chimaev is just like he's taller and he's got a big torso and upper body too. Like Gilbert Burns definitely has a bigger torso and upper body than Hamzat and than anybody Hamzat's ever fought. But I don't know. I just still feel like with the height, you got the reach. Usually, I think Hamzat's probably going to still be able to do whatever he wants. We'll see. Maybe Gilbert's that different speed that Hamzat hasn't faced yet, though, because that could definitely, be the difference that changes it. Man, these women are fast. The punches they're throwing.
And I'll say what,
On both sides too, like they're back and forth.
yeah, but Mackenzie Dern's striking looks much improved from her last fight.
So far, okay, this is interesting. We'll see how this comes out.
Let me know when they start the second round, Mike. I think I might have. Yeah, I think I found a stream that's a bit more caught up to you.
No, mine already started, so it might be about the same.
Mine just started.
Yeah, you're about a minute behind then.
Okay.
But that's fine though. Like just so you give the play-by-play, and then I'll join in and give feedback off of that. Oh wow. Okay. Well, I see what's going on right now.
Leaky, dude.
Mackenzie Dern is a grappling savant. She is
monkey.
Dude, I was telling my dad today, I think she's the
okay. Oh, she is dirty. It's not over yet. I'm not but it is just
but
watching her step by step make slight position adjustments, and obviously you guys have seen her by now. She jumped on her.
Right. Oh yeah, I've seen it. But I was telling my dad today that I think she's the human snake, dude. Like the way she fights, she's like a anaconda.
You know who I thought that about too? That's funny you said that. I thought that about Hamzat when I was watching his fights, just specifically in the Yi Jinliang fight, just because that was the one where he got the submission on the choke. But seriously, that's so funny you said that, because it reminded me of I had a friend when I was a kid who had snakes as a pet, and he had a python, and they'd feed the python mice. And you'd watch the python just like strangle, like just choke it out.
Mm-hmm.
And to see how Hamzat was going for the choke, and he was like, "All right, I got it pretty good, but you're fighting it or you're fighting it. This might not do it. All right, well, let me like slightly reposition." And he went for it, like, and it was the third time he got went for the reposition, but like the third time he got it real snug and was
Right.
so solid, and it's just like, man, that's exactly what a snake would do. Like they'll hold you in a vulnerable position until you decide to squirm maybe and make yourself more vulnerable maybe, and then they attack the best weakness. Like, yeah, Mackenzie Dern is a
Great fighter, dude.
oh man, she is so impressive to watch. Oh, look at this. What is going on here?
Not yet, Kitty Cat. No one's gotten choked out. Mackenzie
Yeah,
Dern.
it's not over yet. It's not over. It's not over. I mean, and give Tisha Torres a lot of credit for all the stuff she has defended so far, because Mackenzie Dern has been working her since she jumped her back.
No shit. Mackenzie Dern would have broke my arm by now.
And oh gosh, these are some great camera angles by the UFC too. Props to the UFC.
Yeah, they have very good camera crew.
Soon to be sponsors.
I hope so.
We got some chat. Okay, we got a kitty cat. I think Dern wins. All right, yeah, we agree. I would say Dern's winning so far.
Oh yeah, she's winning by far.
No one got choked out yet. I won't. Well, I guess I'm ruining it for you, but the round ended, so no one's won yet. But Dern definitely.
She's ahead
that entire round, pretty much. I would say at the 4-minute marker, slightly earlier, she got the back. She just jumped on the back of Tisha Torres and slowly worked her way up the back. Was going for a choke, got her to the ground. No, she was going for an arm bar, like some type of arm bar, and then gets her to the ground. And it was definitely really impressive to see the leg work that Mackenzie Dern would use to just further accelerate her position and, work the strain on Torres' arm.
What about these elbows, though? I never seen anyone throw elbows at the end of the round the way Mackenzie threw them. Like she was throwing it off her back, almost like behind her. I'm telling you, the innovation of the sport has been really impressive. Like the sport we fell in love with a couple years ago is really appalling.
Oh, my screen froze. Crap. That's all right. We'll get it back. Oh.
All right, round 3, and then the real fight start. Let's go.
This is a real fight. This fight is. I do like Mackenzie Dern a lot. I think he is championship material. So Charlie, which one's that? That's the Rose. She's in the same. Are you kidding me? She's the same weight class as Rose.
Yeah.
That's she. I will say, yeah. I think that's what called me off guard. Mackenzie is not as like, when you're seeing two people lined up that are the same height, you can't really tell how tall they are. But she's a little shorter than, I think she's like 5'6" or 5'4" maybe.
I'm not saying she's ready yet, but Mackenzie against Rose would be interesting.
Oh, I think she is. I disagree. I think she's ready for anybody, and she could win against anybody on any given night. Not to say Rose isn't a great striker, or Wei Li, Zhang Wei Li, or Joanna. I think Joanna might be on that Tony Ferguson and
yeah.
although Joanna took such a she had such a great fight against Wei Lee, and
Wei
that's
Lee.
the fight she had.
That might be the best female fight I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that fight was insane, dude.
I agree. I agree. Such an amazing fight, and I rewatched that, and I'm like, man, because I know that night I bet it, and I bet Wei Lee, and so I was thinking, after 5 rounds, all right, I felt pretty good about it. I'm like, I think she won. And then
Yeah.
I watched the fight again, and I'm like, man, it was so much closer than I thought.
But Mike, I don't even want to call it like a good women's fight. That was just a good fight.
Well, absolutely, that was one of the more entertaining fights you'll ever see.
Right. I don't know if they started putting fights in the UFC Hall of Fame yet. But that
I
was,
think they have. I think they do that, and I'm pretty sure. I think Dana White said it that night. I could be wrong, but
yeah.
I know he would agree.
Oh yeah.
Even if it's not already a done deal.
And people can say about fighter pay, and we can agree that they probably need to get paid more. But when Dana sees stuff entertaining, he does reward it.
Yeah.
His fight bonuses and stuff of that nature can be legendary. So.
Oh boy.
See, that's the interesting thing about fighting, though, is like when you got your windows to finish a fight, you better finish it because you never know how it could end.
I would say that this has been Tisha Torres' best round. It's not that she's been clearly dominant,
but she stayed on top.
Definitely been a more even round. So, I would.
She's been moving around too more.
I would actually say at this point, yeah, Tisha probably is winning this round. If I have to give it to somebody, I
would say Tisha won the round. I would say
Dern really hasn't done anything this round.
But I would say Mackenzie still winning the fight.
I would think she won the first 2 rounds.
Yep.
Definitely the second one without question. The second round, you could make an argument for 10-8.
Yep.
With the new rules, but this round definitely has to go to Torres.
Well, she came out as the more desperate fighter, which I think she had to do.
Yeah, no, yes, like you said, it's what she had to do. So smart on her part. Nothing to lose. You're going to lose the fight, but I think Dern did enough in the first round to get that round.
Yeah,
and then I think she owned that whole second round. So now that I'm thinking about it more, I'm like, if you do give 10-8 rounds, and you're trying to give more 10-8 rounds for the ones that really deserve it, then I think that is a 10-8 round. Maybe there was one point on the ground where she almost lost position, but then she got it right back with a leg lock. That was the other thing I was going to go into. She turned that armbar after she lost that armbar position. She then got a leg lock, and then she was definitely back on the offensive where Torres just kind of had to sit for a minute and just like hold on for dear life and not let her get a further along position to.
If that's not 10-8 round, I don't know what is. Like if that's not pure domination, then nothing is.
Yeah, she did have that the in between part where she lost the armbar. I think Torres gained some position, so I can't remember quite how long that was, but
yeah, I guess
But I would say like 4 minutes of that were Dern and very.
I wonder who won. Was it Mackenzie?
Yeah.
We're getting there. I don't want to give anything away, but I'm about to be. I can let you know if you want.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
You're not gonna spoil that much for me.
All right. He's reading it up. Sounds like it might be a split decision. We can't tell yet.
It's gotta be for decision.
Mackenzie Dern. Yeah, she won.
I wouldn't say it was an MS, but she definitely won.
I'm guessing it was a split decision based on how long it took. Let me see what.
I don't usually like to eat that late, but given the fight time, made the exception tonight.
Hey man, we all need a little snack here and there, you know. Snack time.
Well, with my
Wait,
new
hello?
fight, I have to work until midnight. One.
Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
All right.
Kitty Cat, you still there? Oh, right as I say that, there's a. I was right. Yeah, you were right. I'm back.
Yeah, we got you back.
Now, I don't even know how I did that, but
Someone
shit.
was asking us on Twitter. Obviously, I'm going to be watching, but you guys will be watching the United States Football League, right? You weren't just hopping on as a one-off to me. You guys have real interest in that.
I'll probably watch. I always like some football, and if I can do a DFS lineup where I have
I mean,
maybe an advantage over some people.
DraftKings definitely said they're going to do it, but they haven't made prices yet. Mackenzie's in there with her kids, even, I see. That's a deal.
Tom's out working out with Darren Till.
Yeah, that's not good.
Jim Ross?
Yeah, there's Jim Ross, dude.
Tony Khan and Jim Ross.
All right, Logan, you're making me hungry. Be right back.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a water.
I'll wait till you guys get back. I was going to grab some coffee, but we all can't make it at the same time. That would be totally.
I can stay too, and I know we got some time before the.
No,
real quick.
go ahead.
Water, I'll stay. Keep it so you don't got to go solo, you know, and just ramble on. But,
Man. Hey, by the way, we talked about the Fox crew. The NBC crew is going to be Jack Collinsworth, so it's going to be Chris's kid.
he sounds very much like Chris Collinsworth.
I think it was very much done that way, but I believe
that card is insane too.
I could be wrong, but I think he will be the youngest commentator to commentate a major football game in history. Like on a national broadcast. Because I believe he graduated in 2018.
Could be.
I believe
NBC had to deal with his dad, so I'm sure, it could have been in the contract years ago.
Dude,
right.
Shogun Rose still fights. What the fuck?
All right, I'll be right back now.
Talking about guys who still fight, they're talking about giving maybe having a senior division in the UFC soon.
Nice.
That'd be interesting. I'm not sure if that would involve steroids or what they would do. If there'd be any, maybe the rounds would be shorter. I'm not sure how exactly they would handle that. But they were talking about it. I've never seen this kitty cat person in her chat before, but she's very lively and active. Right. So we'll put her comments up there. Get her
Yeah, at least we got somebody to hang out with.
She thinks the Korean Zombie's gonna win.
I disagree.
Well, I think he earned a lot of fans, but whenever you have to retire to go and serve your military, there is some patriotic duty to that. But it's such a unique custom, especially to the Westerners, that you're gonna garner some major respect by doing that. Because I mean, he gave up a portion of his career to serve his country.
Yeah.
There's some real honor in that. I mean, it's not surprising he's a fighter. I mean, there's a lot of honor in fighting. Which I think is why we see a lot more female supporters of the UFC, like female fans being very vocal about it. I think a lot of women are drawn to like that sportsmanship element of the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the UFC actually has some of the more like good sports kind of vibes about it than most other sports. I think a lot of outsiders that don't really follow the sport think of the sport still as like the cockfighting days, and it's far evolved from there. Well, as Paul says, the real fight that started. Although I would tell you that real fight started at 6:30.
Yeah, it was time for the real fights, dude. No more of that. Whatever they were doing.
Whatever they were doing.
I forgot they were fighting like 6 times. But
you gotta admit, in that second round when she went in the condom mode, that was entertaining.
That was perfect.
That's exactly what you were talking about. Anaconda mode. Kitty cat, I'm with you. I feel like Korean Zombie's gonna win too.
You guys are crazy.
No, I feel it. I listened to Dirty Heads Radio on Pandora, and the song Zombie came on randomly like a few months ago.
All right, you're cheating. No, that's cheating. We get it, dude. You got a time machine.
No, I'm just saying, like, it came on, and like I'm like, wow, I haven't heard this song in forever. And then I just was thinking about it today, honestly, and I was like, man, once the song came on, obviously I was like, okay, this is a song I got to go back and like. So it comes back on. So it's been playing it every once in a while, here and there, and I almost got sick of it. But then I'm like, wait a second, this was telling me a sign. This is telling me Zombie's gonna win.
Did he bet it, Mike?
I did 15 on him. I actually put just 20 on Burns, just because I picked all the underdogs tonight for the rest of the fights. I got 20 on Burns, 20 on Aljamain Sterling, and then 15 on Zombie. And my thinking was, if one of them win,
Right.
it's money.
I had some on McKenzie, but I had her parlayed with Aspen Ladd a lot.
I do think there will be one upset tonight. I just like it's the
there's going to be at least one.
It always happens. I mean, it could, and granted, I'd be out $55, so that's fine. But I actually did have Pennington, not Pennington, the other two, Madsen and Dern. So I'll be all right.
You'll be all right. See, like I had one Dern outright, which I obviously won, but I had her mostly parlayed with Aspen Ladd. Which, if Aspen Ladd would have wrestled like she did that last round, she would have been fine.
Right? I mean, where was that the first two rounds? Like I was like, well, this is a different. It would have been a different fight if she had done that. You're exactly right. She didn't do anything the first two rounds. She just tried to stand up. Man,
Yep.
Hamzat is pumped. He hasn't fought in a while, right?
Yeah, but he might be too pumped.
He might be. You might be right. Because Mickey Gall looked really pumped before the fight, and then he got knocked up.
Dude, he kept his chin out the whole fight.
He did. And it cost him.
That
was a great combo, though. He hit him on the ear with the first shot, and then the second hook was what dropped.
Struck UFC opponents 254-2. Yikes!
I'm curious. He has in his first two fights, he makes the guy miss on the first swing he takes, and then takes him down, and then pummels him for however long the rest of the fight goes. Then the third fight, Mearshart was like, all right, I'm not going to be the over-aggressive one, and I'm going to just wait for him to make a mistake, and I'm going to make him come at me, and I'm going to counter. And what happened was Hamzat was just like, all right, you're going to make me throw first? Okay. And then he just knocked him out in one punch, which was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Hamzat is chilling on top of the – oh, I've never seen a fighter do this before a fight. He was sitting on top of the octagon.
Yeah, I saw it. That was strange.
Oh, are we on the same time frame now? You got Gilbert working out right now?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome. I'm glad we're synced up. I think we did freeze for a second before in the last fight.
I have 4 options, so I've been filtering through the 4 options to try to figure out which one would be.
You got Gilbert undressing and dancing right now?
Yep.
All right. That is awesome. I mean, not to cheer on the male stripping. Not that there's anything wrong with that if you're into that, kitty. You know, we're all here for female viewers, too. Maybe she likes Gilbert strip dancing.
Maybe. We'll have to find out.
Kitty cat, any response?
Still the same message as you had anything new to say, but not yet. Man, this is the first time Aspen Ladd made weight today, too. I really thought he was going to come in and look different. This is the fight that's going to determine if I make money on DraftKings or not.
I'm so pumped. 12, you're right, man. Like, as good as those other 2 fights were, and I was excited to see them, man, this is really where the fights start. The people's main event.
Yeah.
That's why I'm done eating now, so I can actually like pull it up.
Because after this fight, if Hamzat wins, we can officially say this guy's a problem.
He's getting
Yeah.
rocket shipped up to the main event.
Look at him, man. He is ready to go.
Like if he wins this fight, he's getting a title shot.
Dana White apparently said he's going to fight Colby next if he wins, which I thought was premature because I'm like, man, if he dominates, like he should get a title.
But here's the thing: Dana cares about money. So if Dana can make money and hold off that title,
I get it. I get it. You can sell Colby and him as a pay-per-view.
right? You sell the name and then give him a title because the title's always gonna have a draw, right? You put a strap on somebody and it's gonna draw numbers.
All right, so we got Hamzat 10-0. 550 favorite, ladies and gentlemen. 550. Got to bet 550 to win 100. That's too rich for my blood. Not betting a 550 favorite. No way. I'll put it in the fantasy lineup. But I'm not.
People said the same thing about Scheffler because he had like an 8-shot lead and he almost choked it away today, Mike.
Well, there's another day, right?
Yeah. But I'm saying like the closest guy to him was like 5 strokes behind him, and now they're only like 1 stroke apart.
And Gilbert Burns plus 375. I think I got him at like 410 or 420. I think it was 410, but I'm like,
I almost took him
I
today.
don't think he's gonna win. But like you've said, this is the biggest step up for Hamzat in his whole career. So, like, let's see what he's made of. I'll take a 4-1 value. All right, here we go. Hamzat going with the body shots with the kicks and goes for the takedown early and shut down. First time he's been shut down, I think, on a takedown. But also controlling him against the cage. You guys on the same time still?
I think you're still a little further ahead of me, but it's all right, Mike. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You're not that far ahead of me that it's going to make a huge difference.
Gilbert given the best defense I've seen, although, wow. Interesting. Where are you guys at time-wise?
I'm getting coffee. I'll be right back.
12, are you there?
Did he disappear? I'm almost back, Mike.
No, you're good. I'll give a reply. So we got, Gilbert was able to get up off of that scramble on the ground, and then Kamza let him get up. He kind of kicked him in the legs a couple times, and then
That was Gilbert playing. Gilbert said, "I'm going to take this guy to the second round. He's never really been tested. We're going to test him tonight."
Yeah, I mean, Gilbert definitely was the best, gave the best ground defense Hamzat's ever had. Granted, I feel like Hamzat had very dominant positions and was still pretty dominant in the time he had that position.
Ooh. That shot would have hurt if it would have landed. They both threw like I think it was Burns who threw a kick and Hamada threw a kick and if they would have landed.
It's interesting to see now, though, like Hamzat has not gone for another takedown. Normally, that's usually his first move after somebody misses a shot. Like he makes a guy miss and then goes for the takedown. Now he's willing to just stand up with Gilbert Burns. It's interesting. I'm wondering if he's like giving up on the game plan, or
he might be.
He was discouraged by Gilbert's ability to defend on the ground.
Well,
but at the same time, he could.
Well, most of
he could win the. Oh.
Let's see. Mike's still a bit ahead of us. Well, we got the O, so something happened with me.
It's not over. I won't say anything more. But again, I don't. Yeah, I'm not saying who got anything. You never know.
Mama, there goes that man.
Ooh. Oh, okay. We got some blood. I didn't see that until the end of the round. Where you at, Logan?
I'm nearing the end of round number 1. I'm seeing this nasty ground and pound at the moment.
Yeah. So, okay, that's a small cut. Doesn't look big at all. But yeah. So Hamzat landed a stiff jab. It was just a right jab. But Gilbert was stepping in at the time and caught him, and it dropped him. And Gilbert didn't lose consciousness or anything like that, but it just put him in a bad spot for Hamzat to just jump on him and start landing some elbows and ground and pound. And definitely
what a round.
I'm not going to give it a 10-8. Just a 10-9. I thought Gilbert did enough where he was definitely respectable, but Hamzat won the round.
He definitely won the round, but I will say Burns recovered quick.
He did, but it was just a jab too. So, but again, like it was a jab, or actually it was a straight that knocked Mearshart out. I think it was
I know a lot of
back foot hand, whereas this, I think it was a jab. I think it was in southpaw when he hit that right-handed shot to Burns that dropped him.
I guarantee you, Mike, that DraftKings is very happy right now. I know a lot of people had the under for round number 1 TKO. On the sport.
I mean, I could see that. I would say I wouldn't have bet that. Because, like,
I would have bet.
You know what the line was on that? Because I wouldn't have liked it unless it was like 4 or 5 to 1. Because like I don't like bet unless it's like either way, just a first round knockout in general. Because like understand that shit can kind of happen. You never know. Like anybody can get lucky and caught.
I think it was first round plus 100, but I could be wrong.
All right, so these guys are standing up a lot. Hamza is definitely trying to, I think, show off his boxing skills that he's been training with Darren Till for a little bit.
Right.
Gilbert's going for a takedown here. All right, Hamza. Just says, no, thank you. I'm not trying to go on my back.
But each country is kind of known for their own version of grappling. It's interesting.
Whoa! Okay, this fight is gonna get interesting, you guys.
You can't say anything, Mike, so I'll give you a question instead. Do you think we see a Damian Maia fight again?
Do I think that guy, Damian Maia, will fight again?
Yeah.
Who was his last fight?
I have no idea who his last fight was, but they brought up on Morning Combat the other day. He's 43. Do you think the UFC gives him like one more retirement fight?
Oh yeah. I think I remember. I watched either. I think I watched his previous fight.
So then I started thinking about it.
He pretty much asked for one more.
Yeah, who is it though? Like, what do you give him? Do you give him?
I'm with you. Like, he is super talented as a jiu-jitsu martial artist. Like, there's no denying that. He's, his record stands for itself. The guys he's beaten is something to stand on. But at this point, he might be doing. Wow, and this is such a good fight.
It really is. I want to see him and Cowboy. Just let the last of the Mohicans fight it out, and then.
For those not watching, like, Hamza won the first fight big time, but Gilbert is.
I would give Gilbert.
But Gilbert is very much in this fight in the second round, if not clearly winning the second round.
I gave him the second round. I think we're tied.
It's not over yet. I mean, I still got a minute left, but if I had to pick the round now, Gilbert's landed one good shot. That's when I said earlier.
Right.
And I think if I remember, he dropped Hamza to a knee, and then Hamza got up. But man, these guys are just trading right now. Oh man, Hamza is like, I don't even care about the ground anymore. I'm going to show you guys I have stand-up game too. Like, Mearshart wasn't a fluke. I'm going to try and knock somebody out, but that might be a mistake. Like,
I think I watched a documentary recently with Chandler, and he said that
Hamza's hands are fast. He didn't even land. I'm just saying that after a miss, but wow.
Well, that's when you can really see it. When they miss and you still think it's fast.
Oh! The round's going to end. Wow, okay. Man, this is a good fight. I got to give it. Oh! A little extra after the round. These guys, man, these guys were all friends before, but not anymore. These guys do not like each other. I will say that. Watch the end of this round and you will see these guys do not like each other. Hamzat's coach is fucking mad at him. He is super mad at him. He's probably like, why aren't you taking him to the ground? You fucking owned him in the first round. Just take him to the fucking ground. Stop trying to dance with this guy. This guy is just as good as you on the feet. But no one can fucking match you on the ground when you just bear hug them.
I do remember I was watching some of the press conference on Mac Life, which is Connor's feed.
Oh, good fight. Good fight. Good fight.
Hamza got dropped at the end of that round. He survived good, but okay. It wasn't. I overreacted on the extra stuff at the end of the round. It wasn't a real punch thrown. He just kind of threw his arm at him.
Yo,
Yeah.
I'm like sick. This fight got me shaking, dude.
Oh man,
Good
you might see a knockout. I'm thinking these guys are like just
I got this.
they've had 2 rounds. Go ahead.
I got this at 1-1 though, and I think
Yeah.
it favors Gilbert at this point because
Oh yeah.
of his experience.
Oh my god.
I think he's in. I think he's in his head a bit. 'Cause I think you're right. I think if he really wanted to win, he would take him to the ground and wrestle him. I think he baited him into the stand fight. I think it's smart.
Where you guys at time wise?
Just starting the 3rd round.
Okay.
It should be better next week if we want to do it. They're doing a fight card, and my ESPN is usually a bit faster than when I use these special services. I've been enjoying the ESPN fight cards, man. It makes ESPN.
Oh, yeah. No, they're always. I mean, all these fights are awesome.
I'm telling you,
There's more to it when there's higher stakes, like 2 guys, an up and comer and a vet. But
well, ESPN plus bought the UFC and they got the golf rights, and it's definitely up the value of ESPN plus.
All right, nothing drastic yet. I thought there might be some.
I know. I want to get my last
popping, but
these guys are
still live fight.
I need Burns to win this though for my DraftKings like the Lions.
Yeah, I took Hamzat as my MVP in my DraftKings, so the Burns bet was kind of a hedge, just because I'm like, man, he could win. I thought Hamzat is
both
everything. Burns is giving him everything. Like, it's very close. This 3rd round, I would say so far is Hamzat, but that 2nd round was.
Yeah, I mean, Hamzat
Burns almost finished him, so I can't say like Burns is anywhere out of this. Like,
well, that's the thing. It looks like Hamzat might be gassing a bit. Like
I think he's not. Right now, he seems fine to me. In the 2nd round, he got dropped a couple times. One was very late at the end of the round, so that might have been what saved him too. But
no, I'm not saying the gas tank is empty yet. But I do think he's trying to empty it this round. Is what I'm saying. Like, I think he's going for Burns this round.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you don't want to leave it in the hands of the judges. They always say that, and I know it's cliche, but you don't.
Especially when you're such a favorite,
Yeah, like
Burns has nothing to lose here.
Yeah, and if you don't do anything, like, you gotta. At least the more aggressive guy is gonna get the win.
Well, you gotta remember, no one wants.
You're gonna go after the guy who's stepping forward and closing the space instead of the guy that's retreating the whole time.
Like me and you know Dana White. No one wanted to fight Hamzat, man. So
Yeah, Neil Magny is the only name I heard besides Gilbert Burns. Neil Magny, and I like Neil Magny, but I don't think that would. Hamzat, don't get too.
But Dana, he's gonna reward Gilbert as long as Gilbert put on a show. He's gonna reward him.
He will, and they're gonna get fight of the night right now. I think it looks like.
Oh yeah.
To me, it looks like Hamzat is. He's asking Gilbert. He's telling Gilbert to come swing at me. I feel like he's trying to line up a shot and time him, but he just hasn't gone for it yet.
I know that leg didn't connect all the
way. And then he's making Gilbert miss.
That was an impressive leg kick. And the reason I'm not giving timestamps is because I really think if we just talk about the fights more in general, like it'll be more entertaining to go back and watch. Like I think more people will get. I know a lot of people like to watch people's reaction to things after the fact. Like, do you remember the Ronda Rousey knockout? I remember people just making compilation of people watching that fight live. Like there are tons of compilations of people just watching that Ronda Rousey knockout from Holly Holmes.
That knockout was sick, though.
Yeah.
But all right, you guys, let me know when you guys get the ending.
Ooh.
But I know who I feel like took the third round.
We've been doing
That was such a good fight. Damn.
It was a great fight. I mean, it was all the hype lived up to it because I mean, you got to see Hamzat take some shots for once, even shots that dropped him. Like he's human. He just also still does actually have a really good chin behind that huge thick beard.
we turned DraftKings into a family affair, Mike. I got my mom into DraftKings. She actually did pretty good. And man, I'll tell you what.
Got you giving her advice.
Yeah, well, I treated myself because we've been working. You know, my friend, he started doing more fantasy baseball. So he's like, "Hey, I know you've never really been a baseball guy, but I don't know if I told you, but I work remotely from home now.
Yeah.
And so it's like a call center. So basically, I'm just waiting. So sometimes at dead time, he's like, "How interested would you be in like getting the MLB package?" So we split the cost of the MLB, me and my friend.
Yeah.
And I've been really enjoying baseball, man. I've watched more baseball this week than I've probably watched in 4 years.
No, the package is a good deal. Oh, they're gonna announce it.
It really is. It was like 120. We split it, and then there's what, like 162 games?
Hamzat with the W.
The game is Amazon.
Yeah. He won. I thought he definitely won the first and third round. I couldn't hear all the judges, but it didn't sound like a split decision.
I'll tell you what, though, as a promoter,
I'm giving it 29-28.
but as a promoter, though, Dana White's happy. He's got a chubby right now. He's gonna be chumming it up in the press conference after this fight.
Hang on, one sec. Man. Hamzat's got a nice cut under his left eye.
Yeah, they were both busted up a bit.
Yeah. He's just giving all the respect to Gilbert Burns.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Nah, it's class.
Jordan, that's one of my favorite things about this sport, man. Is how many classy people there are. And it's not phony sportsmanship either. There's a lot of good class in this sport.
Yeah.
That's why when you see real hatred, though, it means something. Like remember when Khabib and Conor fought?
Yeah, or Burns or not Burns Masvidal, Colby Masvidal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll never forget when Khabib is just like, "You want to do the talking now?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like he meant it though. Like he's like, "Talk now."
Yeah. All right, I'll be right back. I gotta check on what's cooking.
They had to have you excited, right? 12, that was a great fight.
Yeah. That fight was fire.
Yeah, that fight was, I mean, it was in the top 10 fights of the year, I think. The sad thing is Burns isn't really he's known in like the fighting community, but like as a household name, he's not really known. So who knows how much like publicity he'll get off of this, not being the winner, but he deserves a lot of credit because that was a hell of a fight.
Yeah.
I think a Kobe fight would be a good selling point for the next fight.
Yeah, you kind of got robbed, Gilbert. It's all right, dude. That sucks.
But I wish people wouldn't see it that way. I wish they'd just see two warriors going to battle. Whenever I see a good fight like that and just two guys just giving it their all, I'm like, let's just run it back like a rock concert. Let's have an encore. See, I like that about our podcast. We can have some dead time too, because I remember Dan Patrick would always say that in his things. There's like people are afraid of having too much downtime. You don't want too much dead air, but you do want it to be organic. Some people over talk like podcasts and stuff like that. So, oh, we lost 12. I think he'll be on back here in a second. You back, buddy? I'm waiting for Mike to jump back in here because I got to use the restroom, but I don't want to leave him alone.
All right.
I'll be right back, guys. We're going to stay on a quick intermission. We'll be right back. Oh, we gotta get Mike back in here. What was the food of choice, Mike?
Burnt pizza.
That's not bad.
Somebody forgot about it during the fight. Somebody also thought it was going to be a shorter fight and not go 15 minutes. So I was like,
Hey man, that doesn't look like bad drum pizza, man. It looks like the
no,
cheese.
it's a Sicilian. You got to go Sicilian.
That's right. I don't do bread anymore, so I do my pizza with the cauliflower crust. Don't sleep on it. It's pretty good, man.
Hey, if you can go no carb, it works. If you cut out carbs and sugar, you will lose weight. I guarantee it.
I'm a testimony, man. I lost about 130 pounds. I bulked back up a bit, but it's mostly muscle now.
Nicely done.
When
I'm like trying to lose weight stuff, it's the keto diet's where it's at, in my opinion. The problem is I like bread.
People like bread. You know what I miss more though? I'm not gonna lie to you, I miss beans more.
Hey man, I've been to vegan places and they make good food. I'm not trying to knock what they can do and make it taste like meat, but at the same time,
there's no replacement for meat. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying beans, man. But I don't know. I don't like beans.
Fair enough. But you can make like a bean burger and stuff like that. But
yeah.
Like I know what you're saying though.
Sugar was easy for me to give up. I was never addicted to sugar.
Yes. I like candy I can give up, although I like it, but sugar in my drinks is a problem. Like I like sugar in my drinks.
I replaced it with stevia, with erythritol.
Yeah, that stuff I hear isn't too great for you either. Neither's diet soda, which I drink that too. So I'm not trying to.
No, I'm not saying
I know better than you because I still drink diet soda. I know that shit's not good for you,
but as a substitute once in a while, I will do it. Like especially on like a vacation, I'll do a stevia in my coffee, stuff like that. Most of the time, I drink my coffee black. That's the one thing I have up is my coffee intake though.
We got Peter Yan walking out now. That's right, he's interim champ, even though he's
he
3-1 favorite.
What, Corey Sandhagen?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did fight him.
Now, Mike, do you think there's any advantage to not having USFL content out right now for DraftKings? I saw on a podcast I was watching recently, they were debating whether it's good for the hardcores, like for the people that want to play it, if there's no like salaries out until like last minute, or is it bad for promotional reasons?
I think all they need to do is roll it out the week before. So as long as they do it, they'll probably do it by tomorrow. I would think, well, granted, the regular season in the NFL, the first week is out way early, but other than that, you just get the next week to week. So
that's what they were saying.
I wouldn't be surprised if they roll it out tomorrow, giving you a week, right? Or are the games Saturdays, right?
Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, it's both. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So I would think then, I would think by Monday at the latest, they'll be rolling that stuff out. And I don't think that I think that that's good because there's too much new to the league this year.
Well,
I mean, it's a new league, period. Like you don't know who's going to be healthy, who's even the starters on what rosters. Like,
well, they were projecting the former running back Smith, who used to run for Michigan, the big heavy tailback. Can't think of his name now. Devontae Smith, something like that. A couple of years ago, like 2000.
what's the Eagles receiver? Where is he from?
Michigan, the running back. He came out in like 2011. He was projected to be one of the starters.
2011. That's 12 years ago, or 10 years ago.
Not 2011. I'm sorry. 2000, like what was it? Like 5 years ago. Anyways, I'm getting old, man.
No, I'm just like,
So
that guy's gonna be over the hills. Like 10 years is like the cutoff for the running backs. They ain't gonna be. He
Well,
might go to the USFL, but
Chad Henne's still in the league, so
yeah, that's quarterbacks then. That's different. Running backs die off at 30. So,
my
but
job is
who's a running back?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The point is, a starting running back was actually projected to be the starter, and he was cut 2 days ago. So I think that's what DraftKings is protecting against. If they release the salaries and then somebody gets cut, and then like one of these 4K guys gets like 25 touches, because that happened in the XFL league, week 1, and they lost money on it. So I think that's why they're doing that.
Could be.
Which is smart. I mean, will the other contests fail? Maybe not by releasing it so late. But you also don't want to release such an inefficiency in your market. That doesn't really help us. Because let's say they release somebody that's like 4K and we know he's going to get like 30 touches. It's just a free square. Then everybody has him, and there's really no edge being gained there anyways.
True. We got any viewers still? Is Kitty Cat still around? Kitty Cat, you got a pick for this next fight? Sterling Yan. I bet on Sterling, but just because the value, I do think Yan probably wins. If I have to, if my life was on the line, I'd probably pick Yan.
Uh-oh. Sterling's gonna have that Wilder excuse, Mike. He's gonna say he was
I'm
dead.
rooting for Sterling. I got Sterling in my DraftKings, or my FanDuel, I should say. DraftKings or FanDuel, whoever wants to promote us, I will use their site to bet sports going forward. But
by the way, though, what I was joking about
we'll do
was
that FanDuel right now.
he's gonna have that Wilder excuse. He can say he was dancing and having too much fun before the fight. Now he was too tired.
No, Wilder had a almost legit excuse. Like, when I say almost legit, like,
Yeah.
he had 45 pounds of weight that he dragged himself, or he wore, and out to the arena. And I can understand how 45 pounds of weight added on for, he's wearing that the whole entire walkout. Like, who knows how long before he actually started to walk out before he put that on. And all I'm saying is, like, I could see how that could have a detrimental effect, but at the same time,
It is a good point. Hey,
you chose to wear that. Like, why did you think that was a good idea? That's your own damn fault. Like, no one told you to wear that shit. You just did it to sell a fight, I guess. I don't really even know. But wow, Sterling has a nice reach advantage. I did not know that. He's got a 4-inch reach advantage.
I gotta ask you, Mike. Have you seen that?
Really? Could win this fight.
Have you seen
I
that?
hope he does.
Have you seen that Netflix documentary, the F1 one? Because I know he's got a lot of people hyped. People are gonna stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning to watch this F1 fight after these fights.
No, I didn't know about that.
Apparently, they got a documentary about the F1 on Netflix, and it caught everyone's attention and got everyone into the F1. And now, like, it's been their most like profitable season in the F1 racing, and they got a race that comes on in like an hour, and everyone's like really hyped for it. It's like the Daytona 500, I guess, for F1, and so a bunch of fans are gonna wake up at 1 a.m. to watch it.
You got Bruce Buffer announcing these guys right now, just doing Peter Yan right now.
Yeah, we're about 45 seconds behind you because I got the UFC banner. Bruce Buffer's starting his shit right now, announcing the fighters. There's a lot of Brazilians on the card tonight, by the way.
That's true.
That's usually a Dana White staple. I don't think enough people notice that, but usually when Dana loads a card, he'll load it with one nationality. Like he had like an All England card a couple weeks ago. Who's that kid he really likes?
Well, that card was in England, so that made a lot more. Like, I get he does that when the card
dictates it, yeah.
Yeah.
But who was that kid he really likes that? It starts with a P. It's like
Patty Pimblett.
Yeah, Pimblett.
Oh, Patty the Batty.
You think, I'm not buying it, man.
No?
I'm not buying it.
I like him. I like his youthful exuberance.
I like the gimmick. The gimmick's like gold dust. It's like
no, he's not a gimmick. He's good.
I don't think so.
We'll see. I think he's good. He's definitely doing the best he can to sell himself and he's being the youthful, full of energy,
He can sell himself like Kobe Covington. He can talk the talk. I don't think he can.
Man, Sterling coming out the gate, ready to. He looks.
I'll be honest.
To be aggressive.
I don't like either one of these guys. I'm not a Sterling guy or a Peter Young guy. I mean, I don't have any vitriol against him either. Like, I don't have any really strong feeling either way.
All right, boys.
I know they don't like each other. I know that. So, do you got any future idea about these guys, Mike? Any rooting interest in terms of? I want this guy to win so I can set up another fight with somebody else.
Well, I want Sterling to win for my FanDuel lineup and for the $20 bet I placed.
I know you had a current reason for them to win, but like any future setup fights you see in the.
Well,
see, I'm kind of indifferent. Like, I want to see a good fight, sure, but I don't really have a rooting interest, I guess.
I'll see after what happens in this one. I want to see if Sterling I don't know. I feel like I know Luke Campbell was saying, like, after he rewatched it, he thought Sterling probably won the first 2 rounds and then Jan, dominated the third before he committed the penalty. But I almost feel like Jan might have been ahead more than that. I don't know that Sterling definitely won the first 2. I can't remember fully. I didn't rewatch that fight to get a better sense before coming on tonight. But
Peter Young's gas tank has always impressed me. His stamina is really good. Like,
I know he's usually a lot patient in the first couple of rounds.
Right, that's what I'm
Definitely
saying.
the first round, he tries to see what you're trying to do.
Wow, this fight's boring.
Yeah, but he's not being shy in this first fight.
Well, I think the emotions are real.
Aljamain's almost, after he came out the gate firing with the leg kick, in the first second, I think he's gotten more timid, and they're both kind of just moving around and eyeing each other up.
So any dream fights for Mike in the future? So when we do any of these live shows in the future, is there any fight that you're dying to see? Either it could be announced, it could be actually going to happen, or just a dream fight.
Dillashaw, who I want to see Dillashaw when he comes back and fight any one of these guys. It could be the loser of this fight or the winner of this fight, because he probably doesn't. No, he won against Sandhang, and it was just an injury that kept him out of the interim title fight. I think he tore his ACL or something like that. But I like to see Dillashaw against either one of these guys, to be honest. Like see where he stands, because he beat Sandhagen too, technically. Although a lot of people think it was close. I thought Dillashaw won the fight. But I think I picked Dillashaw that night too, so I might have been biased in how I was watching it, but I thought he did enough. Aljamain with a nice elbow attempt, at least. I don't know if he fully landed or not, but Jan's fine.
I want to see how Amanda Nunes reacts after a loss.
Oh, I think Pena wins again. I'll tell you right now. I think Pena wins the second one too.
That's what I want to know. I want to know if she has that Ronda Rousey in her.
I got receipts. I had Pena. I didn't bet much again either. I think it was only like $15, but I bet Pena, and I also told my friend, and I had Pena as my MVP in my FanDuel lineup that night. I was like, she is going to win that fight. And I picked her as my MVP because I'm like, no one is picking against Amanda Nunes. And if she does win, this could pay out. Although I think I lost a couple other fights, so that screwed the FanDuel lineup. But I'll take Pena all day. I love that girl.
Man, if you really like her, you should watch that Joe Rogan did a sit down with her. It's really interesting. You know who's actually considering doing their own internet sports show? It would be groundbreaking too, because I think it'd be the first female to do an uncensored internet show, kind of like the Pat McAfee show, is Kay Adams.
Who?
Kay Adams, the girl that runs the Good Morning Football. She's about to be a free agent.
Oh.
And so she might actually become like the first female to like do an uncensored like Pat McAfee type radio show. Which would be interesting because I think a lot of people still have this idea that women like belong in sports, but they belong in front of like a microphone with makeup. And I think she knows her stuff.
Oh, Jan. Oh.
Coming out with some fireworks.
Uh-oh. Wow. Okay. This is going to get interesting now. Let me know when you're at like the.
Yeah, I'm watching it. You can definitely tell that they're sizing each other up right now.
Tell me when you get to an important part.
Well,
Like, explain to the viewers what are going on when you get there, because something big happens and it gets. It's not over yet, but it's getting interesting. It's
Sterling,
getting really dire, I should say.
yeah, Sterling is scrambling with him right now. Got him to the ground.
Yeah, Sterling's got his back.
About to take his back.
Sterling's got his back. He's got hooks in.
Oh yeah, he's got the hooks in. This fight.
He's got 3 minutes to work.
Yeah, I don't want to call the Joe Rogan because Joe is known for saying a fight's over when it's not. But
It's not over. I'm saying this is a dire situation for Peter Yan, and
Jan's in some trouble here. Not to say he can't get out of the deep waters, but
I don't think he might survive the round. I'm not saying he can get out of this.
no, he's
It looks like Aljamain's got that hook in around the waist pretty tight. So not only that's gonna affect your ability to take deep breaths when you can't fully extend your stomach.
yeah.
And then you got a guy who's also trying to go. He's not going for it at all times. He's trying to open it up so he can get a good angle to go for a choke.
He's got him pretty pretzel.
But he's got those hooks in, so that's never leaving. And here we go. It's not over yet.
He keeps
But he
keeps slugging at his kidneys too. He's taking little shots at his kidneys while he's on the ground. That's gotta zap your energy.
Wow, man. I've never seen Peter Yan in this position. I will say that. We got 2.5 minutes of back control time. With a minute to go.
It's not just a lazy takedown.
Okay, never mind. He gave up. He was going for an arm, but he gave up on that. Now, Sterling's just going for ground and pound. Yan is just.
I'm glad you said that, Mike, because that's exactly what I was going to say. It's not like Sterling's not being active here.
Sterling is very active. He is.
Yeah.
This could be a 10-8 too, because he got the back by at least like the 3.5 minute mark, and he has.
Yeah. I'm going to say that.
He's controlled it. He's throwing shots, mixing it in. When he decides it's not going to work on the choke, he is just deciding to throw, and then he'll go for another choke. And then when he decides, all right, I don't have it, I'm just going to start unloading again. I will spoil it, I guess, a little bit, but the round ends. So, but it's more of what you're saying. Sterling just absolutely controlling. Now, I'll say this, Sterling went for the takedown attempt, didn't get it. Second time he went for it, and he kind of just caught Peter on his back heels, and it was kind of able to steamroll him and knock Peter on back, and then he just jumped him. So I think
that was a pretty good round. Where'd Logan go?
Oh yeah, definitely great round for Aljamain. I think the first round I'd probably give to Yan, but that round was definitely Sterling, maybe 10-8. But now Jan's gonna be mad, and he's not gonna. All right, Sterling's coming out too. Like they're both ready to stand and fire.
Yep.
Now Jan is trying to set the tempo of this round. He's like, I ain't sitting back anymore. He probably won that first round, but you never know. But he definitely lost that last one, so he's like, I gotta make up for lost time.
Yeah, I'm about to watch.
Oh, Sterling gets another takedown. Wow, he is impressive. He really did grab his back very quick. The first chance again of after the takedown, he just slides right over. Yeah, Sterling's got some big thighs. Holy cow. Somebody that at a bantamweight? Oh my goodness. Like, those are massive thighs. Well, it looks like a lot of the same as the last round. We lost Logan for a minute. He said he'll be right back. But we got Sterling on Jan's back, and it's going on about at least a minute and a half now, and he's got that he's got the locks in, the hooks in, I should say. Now Jan's got his hands, so he's holding on, and it's kind of a stalemate, but yeah. So Sterling, I mean, he's not working as much as he did in the last round, where he was trying to continue to move per position gain and stuff like that. Although now it's changing. Does he get Jan? All right, never mind. He's still owning Jan right now. Jan really isn't breaking out of that. He can't break the leg lock around his waist, and so he's just gotta deal with a man who's hanging onto his back pretty much. So they're Paul Felder and Joe Rogan were just talking about what they think the rounds are, and Paul Felder is saying he thinks it's 3-0, 3 rounds in the bag now for Sterling, and Joe Rogan's like, well, might only be 2 for sure. You know, we don't know about that first one, and I agree. I think that first one was close, anybody's round, but you could give it 10-8 in either of these rounds. I would say the second round, maybe probably not this round, because he really hasn't done anything with that massive position on the back. Like, he didn't even go for that many chokes in that round. I think he just was happy sitting on the fact I got this guy's back. He can't hit me from here.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, I'm back. I just as you said, like, don't leave, or I saw that. I'm like, I went to hit back on my phone and it takes me out of the thing for some reason.
Yeah, I
That's
tried,
when I escape.
I tried to join on my phone, but it would only give me the controls to control it on the computer. So it was just one of those force updates.
But so far, I'd say definitely rounds 2 and 3 are clear rounds for Sterling. He gets on his back, and he owns the round after that. There, you can make no argument for Yan in rounds 2 or 3.
I would agree with that.
Paul Felder was saying he even thinks it was 3-0, but Joe Rogan was saying he thinks.
I think it's 2-1.
Yeah, I think it's 2-1 too, because Joe Rogan was like, I don't know about the first one, and didn't say either way, but I agree. I think Jan probably got that first one, but the last two were clear, if not the second round of 10-8 for Sterling. He had everything working in that round. Oh, Jan definitely not trying to end up on the back again. He's being way more aggressive. He's like, I gotta land some shots.
Yeah, I seen how he kind of circled in there. He did not want to get back on the ground.
Okay.
I'm gonna get my last bit of coffee, Mike, so we can get through this last bit of fight here.
So yeah, Aljamain looked like he was gonna get his back again, and then he slips over the top, goes for the leg. Jan ends up on top, but almost got a triangle for Sterling as well. But Jan's gonna take full guard. Did we lose 12?
I think we did.
He must have just left right after I left, but I didn't even mean to leave.
I think he was disappointed how far behind he was anyways.
Oh, that sucks. I apologize if that ruins it. I just feel like we kind of need to talk about the fights and what's going on too, not just chat.
I think he had some real friends over at his house too.
Oh, okay. Well, that's different too. Like,
Yeah.
so Jan has stayed in top position for about a minute now. He's just seemingly in control, not doing too much, although let's see what happens here.
But if you want an unfiltered woman's perspective, Michelle Beadle's over at the Atlantic right now. That newspaper,
Okay.
kind of like they started off by doing like newsletters and stuff like that you could pay for, and then they branched off and did podcasts and hired some former ESPN people and stuff like that. And she does an unfiltered podcast now with a lot of the producers that she used to work with Sports Nation. And they do a podcast called "What Did Michelle Miss?"
Mm-hmm.
She recaps like every Monday.
Well, she misses all football games because she doesn't watch football anymore.
She actually started watching football this year again.
Oh yeah, she's over the Colin Kaepernick No, it wasn't Colin Kaepernick. It was the Ray Rice thing, I think.
She went in
And
on
Kareem Hunt.
over Deshaun Watson pretty hard.
She's what?
She went in on Watson pretty hard the other day. That was an interesting perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what all the details are there, but I mean,
That's the problem with
to claim, all I know is if they are repeat masseuses,
yeah.
like to claim, like why would you go back if something was done wrong to you? Like why would you have multiple? Why would you agree to go back?
Yeah. I see that's the thing is for someone
So
like,
I feel like that's kind of why nothing has stuck in court. And I don't know all the details, so I don't want to speak too much more on that. But I feel like, again, innocent until proven guilty. So,
see that's one of the things that's hard for like fans like me and you because we can be fans of the sport, we can be diehards, but there's so much details that we don't know. And then
yeah, I mean, we're never gonna know. Even whatever comes out in the media, we won't never know what's really the truth.
right,
Like, we'll get what they want us to hear, and right now they don't want us to hear apparently anything.
anything. Like you saw how.
So that could be bad too. I mean, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not.
But I mean, you even saw how Adam handled the Dwayne Haskins thing.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's like, man, why does the media have to handle things in such a way? I don't know.
I've never been a fan of Adam Schefter. I have no problem saying that.
I haven't either. And for some reason, like because he's a Michigan guy and he said success, like breaking news, like we're supposed to like worship the God this guy walks on. It's not for me.
Oh. Yeah. So Aljamain is close to a takedown.
Yeah.
And almost has the back of Jan again going into this fifth round.
Obviously,
he's not on the back. He has a hold of his back. So it's interesting. He's definitely working on a takedown. Oh, Jan with a nice spin off to break free. Man, this 3 minutes left. Anybody's fight. It's all going to come down to who wins these last 3 minutes.
I would agree with that. I was going to say I had that computer issue in the beginning of this round, but I will say I think Sterling's winning this fight overall.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way.
But there's enough time in this fight that we could tornado of offense here is a flurry and change this fight really quickly.
Oh, for sure. I think if either fighter finishes this fight with a flurry or any type of dominant position, they'll win the fight.
It could sway it for sure.
And then otherwise, I mean it's close this round. I was just about to say I think it's Aljamain ahead right now in this round, but Jan just had a nice knee and now he's got a decent position.
I think we did a decent amount, maybe even over talked it some, but I have to say, I reached out to all those people asking for advice on the podcast that we did over the USFL, trying to figure out, our niche and try to figure out what, where best we're served, Mike. And the number one feedback I got was act like you're just having fun with your friends. I think we did that tonight. I think mission accomplished. We went just over 3 hours and it feels like we were sitting in the same room even though we weren't. And Mike had some pizza. We had some good food. We all had a smorgasbord of drinks. It felt like we were just hanging out. It felt nice, man. It felt organic, authentic. That's really all I want this podcast to be.
We got one more fight to go. What are you talking about? Don't sound like you're signing off.
No, who knows? Hell, we'll just roll right into this F1. We'll get Mike amped up. Well, he can watch the whole Netflix series. I haven't watched this Netflix documentary, man. People have been raving about it. Especially even non-sports fans have been raving about it. So I guess I gotta check it out. I think we might have lost Mike. He might have to come back in. Yeah, here he is now.
Yeah. I do like one swipe on my phone and it boosts me.
Don't worry, I got you, buddy.
But yeah, thanks for letting me back in quick. But yeah, Jan finished that into the round pretty solid. I mean, it's anybody's fight.
It is, but I would give it to Sterling.
I would say yeah, Sterling had
I think he's
two
coming.
more dominant rounds.
Yeah, and I think
I couldn't blame anyone for giving Jan 1, 4, and 5.
yeah, but I think Sterling was so dominant in the second round. I have to edge it for him overall.
And I could see someone giving Sterling round 1 too. So
Yep.
I'll be interested to see what happens. And I will be very happy if they give the win to Sterling.
I think this main event fight is going to be a very quick one, right?
I hear the significant strikes Jan had light advantage. He also had a high double digit for Sterling on 22 attempts. Jan officially take down almost control time. Sterling the most dominant out of the top around 3.
So they got Sterling, excuse me, Jan with 51 to 43 in significant strikes. All right, we got the decision here. Split decision.
Oh wow!
Sterling wins.
Yeah.
By split decision.
Yep. No. How much is that? How much did that net you, Mike? That had to net you some decent money.
20, so 60. It was 31. And that will cover the other 2. So
I was gonna say that should cover your losses there.
Yeah. So I'm up 5 on those 2, but I won the other 2. So good night. But the other thing is, I don't know if you remember my. I haven't checked to see how the numbers are, but the lineup I sent you, Ian Gary, who I thought wanted to play, but then they said, well, not they said, the judges scored it. He won.
Yep.
Mackenzie Graham.
Mackenzie won.
Marco Nathan.
Yep.
Hamza
Hama's
was
up.
my number one guy MVP.
And then
Sterling.
you had the Irishman too, didn't you?
So I'm 5 for 5 right now. Ian Gary was the first guy I said. 5 for 5. 6 fighter. I know it's a long shot, but I got the zombie. If zombie wins, I'm 6 for 6. That's gonna cash. Let's go, zombie!
That should cash. If Zombie wins, that's gonna cash.
Man, Aljamain Sterling, nice performance.
See, I won my Mackenzie Dern bet outright. I lost all my other fights.
Ooh, TJ Dillashaw in the crowd. Sterling pulls him out.
Oh,
Nah, Sterling pulling him out, and TJ's in the stands. So at first he stands up and puts his fists up and says, "Yeah, let's do it." And then he keeps talking, and then Dillashaw's just like, "Yeah, dude, I'll just put my middle finger up. That'll tell me."
You know, I wish the UFC would have been more popular in Kurt Angle's prime, because I actually think Kurt Angle would have been actually really good at the UFC.
You're probably
Like,
you got a good point.
dude, as beat up as his body is now, like as much hell as his body's been through, man, he still looks like incredible shape. It's just like, man, I think about all these athletes that if they would have taken care of their body and things like the UFC would have been popular back then. I just wonder how many people would have actually made the transition. Like, imagine a prime Brock Lesnar. You know, we never got a prime Brock.
Brock was kind of in his prime when he came over. He did kind of dominate, although he was probably on steroids.
It's true. He was in his prime physically, like when he joined, but he didn't train.
He didn't train. You're right. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So he entered his athletic prime, but he was so raw at that point.
But he was a college wrestler too, right? I think Minnesota.
Yeah.
Definitely like all-American collegiate wrestler. So he had that going for him. He had his natural strength from working on the farm. I know what you mean though. Like, he didn't grow up training jiu-jitsu and watching UFC as an 8-year-old, and like guys like Ian Gary are like, yeah, it's been my dream since I was 8 years old. 7 years old. Like, I was flipping over tires in the backyard,
right,
just to work out. And this is what happened.
Man, I still want to see Mighty Mouse back in the UFC.
Yeah, he's like he's one of the best, if not the best. Although Cejudo would say something about that, but like
To me, and Silva, I have the same kind of respect for him. Like, I still think he's one of the best.
Oh, for sure. He held the title for so long. He was like Aldo, where it was just like,
right.
You don't even. It was sad. This was way back, so I wasn't even as big of a fan. But for me, it was like, I don't even want to watch this fight. Like, that guy just wins every time. Like, it's no contest.
Right.
So, in hindsight, I was young and naive and didn't really appreciate everything about MMA. But now,
it's funny too, because
anyway, I just want to watch.
Well, it's funny too because you hear from people you would never expect. Like I think it was Mike Tyson said, he's like everyone thinks I'm so dumb, but he's like, I'll say one thing that people don't understand about the fight game. He's like, you don't really respect these good fighters until we're gone. And he said he didn't respect it. He's like, I was a punk kid. I didn't respect my talents. He's like, I think about that all the time. Like, what would happen if I would have done this different, or I would have trained better. Did you see, by the way, one of the Paul brothers called out Tyson? I was like, don't wake up that giant, please. Good.
They're always calling out somebody, so I'm not surprised that it was Tyson. I know they've both called out UFC fighters in the last.
But there's no benefit.
Too long.
There's no benefit for the Paul brothers to fight him because, okay, one, you either beat a 50-year-old man. What does that prove? Or Tyson comes out and smokes your ass, and you get beat by a 50-year-old man, and then it's all over. So, like, I know you're going to make money on it, but, like, that's not the fight to pick.
That's true.
If you're gonna lose one of the good boxers,
If you're betting the Logan Jake Paul fight, like, if you can get higher than, I'll disregard the Mayweather fight because I wouldn't bet against Mayweather, but
yeah,
like a one against fucking Dan Screen, I kick myself that I did not bet that. I thought that ass was a piece of shit. Just ran his mouth. Great wrestler. Good for you.
yeah. I should have bet it too, Mike, because we both know that Ben Askren
has no hands.
Yeah, he has no hands. We knew that as UFC people. No, if it was a wrestling match, I'd say Ben all week.
Right.
He has no hands.
Yeah, yeah. I remember the YouTube videos going out before that video happened, trying to convince people, like, seriously, Ben's got no shot in this fight. Look at what he does in stand-up. And they were the softest, most
I know.
power punches I've ever seen. Like, even like he had like a spinning back that looked like a ballet. Like he was just like, la, la, la. Oh, I missed you.
Yeah, I know. Luke Thomas doesn't even like the Paul brothers, and he was like, "Look, he's like, no, Askren's not the guy. He's like, he's not the guy to beat him."
I would love to see a Paul brother fight a Conor, Masvidal, somebody like that.
Yeah.
Whose mind more their weight? Like, they're both
even
at least 190. I know that 190 is what he fought Ben Askren. Like, so that.
Hell, I would take Bisping.
Middleweight, I think, right? Middleweight's 185.
Yeah.
That's out of some weight.
I mean, I even think Michael Bisping would probably give him a hell of a fight, but not Askren.
Yeah. I'll be right back. I'm gonna.
All right, yeah.
Before this last fight, so I don't know if in case it goes 25 minutes.
Yeah, it could. It very well could.
Be right back.
All right, we'll take a quick intermission, guys. I'm still around. We'll talk it out. But yeah, I'm excited about the potential of this podcast. I think we can do some big things with it. I wanted to be a chill environment and just a laid back time like this where if we need to take a quick intermission to use the bathroom, we're not some kind of public outlet that has to like present itself as a professional. I mean, we don't want to come off unprofessional and just classless either. But I want this to kind of feel like a intimate kind of restaurant bar kind of feel, where it's like we're having fun, but it's also like you're at your friend's, house, and if you're hungry, you open up the fridge and you grab a drink, or you grab something to eat, or you use the bathroom like Mike's doing. Like that's the kind of vibe I want to get off. And I think this 3-hour podcast is perfect. Kind of a companion piece of what I want this to be, just a free flowing, 2 or 3 guys shooting the shit about sports, enjoying each other's company, having a virtual hang, just relaxing, chilling, being just, not expecting a whole lot, not trying to promote products, not trying to be something. We're not just trying to have fun, Me and Mike don't live in the same area, but we've known each other a good while, and we've always enjoyed, just shooting the shit and, enjoyed sports, and that's always been our common ground. And so it's been really cool hanging out with you guys. And here comes the zombie now. I love that these guys, they have such a patriotic duty to their country that they actually retire from their craft, serve in the military, outside of special exemptions like winning medals and representing their country in that way. They all do it. Sanjay M from golf, he might have to retire from golf in about a year if he doesn't win one of these majors, and do something very similar to what the zombie had to do a year ago after he was done fighting Jose Aldo. He went, did military service for his country, and now he's back. So and he actually looked pretty good, even though he's getting up there in age in advanced years. But so yeah, it'll be interesting. I know Mike's pulling for him because he's got some parlay bets and he's got a DraftKings lineup and things of that nature. But this should be a good main event. I think this was a fighter's main card. You had to know Mackenzie Dern. You had to know the history of Peter Young and Sterling, and maybe you had to have some UFC backstory. But all in all, there's some real personality and some real characters in these fights. And the fights have been fantastic. I know me and Mike talked about it a little bit ago. The London card was fantastic a couple of weeks ago. The press conferences have been great. Both, what I like about the UFC is they do pre-fight press conferences, which are kind of more gimmicky. Let's sell the fight. Let's bring out props. But afterwards, the joy in some of the fighters, or the raw emotions after they lose, or I remember Patty was so happy he had went like months without pizza. So like the moment he won, all he wanted to do was eat a large pizza. So he literally ate the pizza at his press conference, like slice by slice with the media. And he was so thrilled to eat this pizza. It was just like, and it just spoke to the dedication that the players have. And I'm going to shut up now. It's Bruce Buffer's about to announce them, and the zombies getting loose out there. He looks like he enjoys himself. He's having quite the time. Oh, that's it. Mike's back now. You back, Mike?
I am.
We got you, buddy.
I think maybe 12 might be coming back too.
Not that I can tell.
Oh, hopefully that was the third part. Maybe not.
Yeah, they have. My computer has 2 versions of you.
Maybe. But I'm starting to think that it might be Zombie's night. Man.
I was saying the zombie looked pretty loose, man. He looked like he was.
So
taking in the environment, man. He was taking in the cage.
One of the things that I picked up on when I was just trying to research and watch some of the last fights and stuff, but I caught some film and video of Zombie training camp, and he's been training with Henry Cejudo.
Interesting.
So it seems like Henry Cejudo seems to just want to jump on the camp of whoever is fighting a champion, which is not a bad move.
Well, Henry said he would come
And
back.
he's having success. Like, he got Figueiredo, and he's thinking like, now I got, and now Zombie's going to be the next one. So we will see. And I mean, like, I think Cejudo ultimately wants to come back. I'm not really sure why he's doing this.
He said as much, Mike. He said he would come back for prize fights.
Right. He wants to come back and get more money. And I think he's also kind of saying, like, hey, if I can coach two guys to become champions now and, like,
Yeah.
you know, within 6 months of each other, like, kind of or something. I still know my stuff. I always know my stuff, but like, he can still do it too, I bet. Like, he walked away at the top of his game.
He can still do it, for sure.
Yeah, I want to see Volkanovski. Yeah, I mean, I've seen him in a tough fight. Ortega's fight was a tough fight. I'm sure I know the first Holloway fight was a tough fight, although I do agree he won that one. The second one I would not see, but I can't say, but I heard a lot of people think he did not win. But it was obviously close enough. Like, I wouldn't have been surprised if Aljamain lost that last fight. I thought it was close.
I don't think this fight's going to go 25 minutes, so Mike.
Say that again?
I don't think this fight's going to go 25 minutes.
I wouldn't be surprised if it does, because Volkanovski's fight pretty much will go the distance. He does knock anybody out or submit anybody. I mean, not later, at least. From what I can remember looking up. Even what I know for sure, like, he hasn't finished anybody. The two Holloway fights he didn't finish, or two he didn't finish. There was one in between, I think there were two.
We shall see, man. We shall see.
We will. No, I'm looking forward to it. It's about to go on. Bruce Buffer getting us started right now. Oh man, Chancellor, he was just chilling. He was like posted up against the fence or the cage. Like, I'm just here. Oh, you know my name? Oh, actually, but he just there hanging in. I'll just sit here. Someday, eh, 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 eh. I don't know on my thing. I don't know if you hear that, but I hear it. So it was almost like a famous song naturally.
See, these podcasts are so much easier to do when you have no expectation and you just hang out. I was telling people while you were gone, man. If you come in with too high expectations of what you want the podcast to be before it really has its own place to grow, you know, that's when things go wrong. I feel it's like a wedding, man, or like a marriage. if you go into a marriage thinking things are going to change between you and someone else, then you're probably going to go in with the wrong mindset. But if you go in with a strong relationship that you just hope it gets stronger,
Oh
then
man, at the face off, Volkanovski is all business, no smiles, and Chancellor
well, that's what I
is
don't know.
full smiles. He is just giddy right now. Like I would say, I feel like he knows something we all don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know who's going to win this, but I don't think this fight's going to go long. I think they're going to empty the gas tank here in the first round.
We'll see. I'm excited. Here we go.
I just had a feeling we're going to get like a Tasmanian devil kind of flurry from both of these guys.
I always like to read the body language before the fight, and I think it tells well. Not saying like coming into the business is a bad thing. I think that's usually a good thing. But it wasn't. It wasn't. Oh, well, crack. Not too bad, but I think that was the first message sent to Zombie.
I almost like watching the smaller guys more, anyways, because they're just faster.
Oh, they are pretty fast.
Yeah,
They
they move like field mice or something. Like they're just
That's a good way to put that. Yeah. Sure, Volkanovski would love to be compared to a field mouse.
dude. It's just the field
Yeah,
fights feel so much different. Man.
mighty good mouse.
I know a lot of people like watching the heavyweights, but they feel stuck in the mud to me. I mean, I know they hit like thunder, but man,
No, I get what you're saying completely. I used to think that the low weight fights, the bantamweight, flyweight, I was like, what's the point? Like, no one's knocking anybody out. Like, no one's got any serious power. And the more I've watched over the years, it's not always about power. It's about speed and precision.
it's
And
good.
if you land a quick strike,
Right.
first of all, quick strikes are less easy to defend because obviously you're moving fast.
Anik was talking about that earlier. Like he goes, it's not the haymaker shot that gets you. It's the 16th jab right to the fucking nose.
It's that short hook. It's the short, precise hook.
Yeah.
The counter hooks.
The one that's in close, it's almost like a sharp elbow. Yeah.
And then it's all about where you hit them on the jaw. And then you hit them right on the chin and get that. You get that lower like chin movement, and then you get that head to rattle down, and your brain hits the side of your skull, and then hits the side of your skull on the ricochet back, and that's called a concussion.
Oh, my phone.
The chin, because not only can I hit the side of your head, he can probably go off the top of your head, then the side of your head, and then when you swing back, it probably hits you. So that's
Oh yeah,
it's a trifecta. And good luck controlling how your person reacts to your chin getting knocked out the swivel.
Keep me updated, Mike. My phone just died, buddy. I said my phone just died.
I got you. All
Yeah.
right, so we're coming down to the last minute of the first round. I'd say it's been pretty even, but now Volkanovski's got the position against the cage. You got Zombie against the cage, throwing some knees, little jab for the hooks to the gut and the head. Nothing nothing damaging, but definitely winning the position. So nothing major happens the rest of this round. We got 30 seconds to go. Then Volkanovski's probably gonna take the round. Zombie, nice jab or hook. Oh, Volkanovski hit some, dropped him, but Zombie's been up, and Volk catches him again. And yeah, I don't think Zombie's laughing anymore. 5 seconds left into the round. Zombie's bleeding at the nose. It looks like it might not be a nosebleed, but right in the cheek. But I'm not quite sure yet. They got ice in the cheek right now to lower the swelling. I know that from fight night. That's what that ice pack is. All hail props to fight night. So in the highlights, we got Zombie landed first, but then gets caught with a hook by Volk. Volk with another nice left hand. And Volkanovski definitely getting the better of these exchanges on all the highlights. He's connected on a lot of hard shots. I would definitely give that round to Volkanovski. Not a teammate, not in consideration, in my opinion. He definitely did enough to clear him. Just not. He didn't take him down or anything like that, and it's not like he worked him that for the first round on the stand up, but he definitely didn't get all the better shots.
I'll be back in just a minute. I had to get my charger from the bedroom.
You're good. And we still round two, about 30 seconds in, just a lot of posture and maneuvering. Trying to Volkanovski throwing some leg tricks. Almost took them, but it looks like Zombie dodged something. We got an exchange there. Volkanovski gets a last solid punch. I think he might have got a slight bit of advantage on that exchange.
But we got some of the bigger.
Yeah, Volkanovski with a check left hook. Again, what we were saying, like nothing, no big swing, just a short kind of guy reaching in the lunging, and then he's like,
yeah, it's a short range like clinch almost elbow that seems
very well done by Volkanovski. He's definitely very comfortable right now. Doesn't seem to be taking any big shots or being a Trump Zombie. Zombie with a nice front kick there.
I think as long as Zombie doesn't get knocked out, your lineup will still cash flow.
That could be true because it is a 5-round fight, so he, if he gets a lot of significant strikes, he's gonna put up some numbers.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you can put up some decent numbers in a 5-round fight if you don't get knocked out.
Even if you lose, yeah. So that is the good news, and I don't have him as the MVP, so oh man, Zombie takes a shot, almost drops, but man, this guy's in the team. He's a zombie. He answers with the left.
Oh. The reason why I'm so excited, he got
didn't quite stun Volkanovski like I thought, and Volkanovski ends up being able to, after a clinch, force the takedown, and now he's on the top. He's got half guard right now on Zombie. 2 minutes left in the round. Getting some good shots on the Zombie. Does get a chance to try and get up. He's on his butt right now instead of on his back, but now Volkanovski may be in a better position depending on how you look at it.
I was just giving one of the people if Zombie can win here, you win probably some decent money on DraftKings. That's why you're so excited.
Well, Zombie to his feet. They both had a big exchange, but I think they both missed. I don't think anybody landed at all. And if they did, they didn't land clean. But the Zombie's definitely taken way more of a beating in the 2 rounds so far. Not saying he definitely, when he does end up, he's surprising me. He is looking. He got dropped a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, it should have.
It's like, okay, when your leg is bumped when you drop, usually sometimes that's the guy jumps in and you're out shortly after that, where he was kind of right there with it, even though he lost his footing. Ooh, man, Volkanovski with a nice,
I should have been watching the chart.
nice shot when he was coming up off the takedown, but again, Zombie is a zombie. He just keeps walking forward.
Yeah,
I'm sure this is the last 3 rounds of this because it's not like Volkanovski leaking the gas tank by any means, but
it kind of reminds me of
zombies tend to just never die, from what I know about zombie movies.
Well, you remember those old Tony Ferguson fights where he would just get rocked and then just keep walking forward? That's what it kind of reminds me of.
Yeah. Well, that's what he's doing now in the fights, except he just eats punches for 5 rounds.
People have no idea the amount of just willpower and heart you must have. Like, no average human could take these shots. Like, we take one of them and we're done.
Most UFC fighters couldn't take those shots that Tony was taking against Gaethje or the fight against Oliveira. I mean, besides the part where he almost got his arm cramped, like he took a lot of shots in that fight too. But it's like, man,
yeah.
I feel like I can fit in one fight too, but. Man, you look at Zombie's face going into round 3, man. He's got both sides of his face pretty beat up, all black and blue.
Yeah, I think he's almost at the point where he's got to go for a knockout now.
Yeah. I mean, he looks fresh coming out of this first round. He's still moving briskly, but
it could still happen. Don't get me wrong.
Volkanovski's obviously just as fresh, if not more fresh.
Zombie can still win this. I just think he has to win it by knockout now.
Probably. He's going to have to catch him and, not necessarily get lucky, but
right. I don't think
he does get lucky, that would help him a lot.
I don't think he can play this like tic-tac-toe game with the judges anymore. I think he's got for the finish.
But yeah, it might take a Volkanovski mistake. And to be fair, I don't know that I've seen him make too many mistakes in his career.
Well, it must be a long, fun.
All right. Zombie's coming forward still. A little more aggressive. It hasn't fallen for a takedown yet. So him in this stand-up is the way he's gonna make it happen, I think.
Well, it must have been a long, fun stream, Mike, because my computer had to do a full restart, and then my phone really went to 0. So that tells me we ran the gamut tonight when it came to.
Yeah, I have to put my phone to my portable charger. Get that thing. And I need to try to charge my laptop well ahead.
Yeah, I was having so much fun. I forgot to check the charge off. Why don't this thing doesn't usually die? That's the thing, though. We haven't seen a lot of knockouts. We saw a lot of fights go the distance tonight. So the card was quite long. I wouldn't even be surprised if Luke Thomas decides he's going to shut it down until the morning, and we don't see a live show tonight.
Yeah, this is going late. 1:30.
I'm telling you, we haven't seen a lot of knockouts. We saw a lot of fights go the distance.
That's true.
And usually you see a couple of the 5 rounders, in the first round or so.
Just got an even third round. Like both guys are exchanging. It's a lot of stand up when they go for grappling or takedowns. I think Volkanovski may have gotten official takedown in this round, but then he got right back up. So it was very close. It was up against the cage. I think it was a takedown that technically, but he was able to just push open and stand up right after that. But
Yeah,
nothing to make you think Volkanovski's in real trouble right now. Like he hasn't been really rocked. At least definitely not in this round. If he did, it was earlier in the first 2 rounds. I can't remember now which one it was, but I do think he took a pretty good second one. But
like I say, as long as you don't get a knockout, you might.
Volkanovski's got a shot here to end this. Oh, the zombies scrambling. Not a lot of time left. Herb Dean doing a nice job of letting this fight keep going on, but Zombie is in trouble. That was definitive. I would say 3-0.
Yeah.
3-0 Volkanovski got up for a finish now.
I will say though, man, Herb is one of the better referees in terms of his his ability to judge when a fight's over or not. You don't see him make too many bad decisions. Obviously, there's human error, just like in baseball with umps and things of that nature, but he's usually pretty on top of his game.
Yeah, something. He's just taking too many shots.
That's it for the zombie, though, right? Like his career is over now.
Well, I wouldn't say his career's over.
No. See, maybe not.
His ability to fight for the title over.
Yeah. Maybe I'm projecting.
More than likely. I mean, if he loses this fight, but then wins his next 3, 4, however, he just keeps winning fights after that. Like, so, but yeah, you're probably right. Like, he's probably not going to win every fight he gets. He's going to keep getting older, and there are going to be younger guys that keep coming up. That
well, maybe I'm projecting
and
maybe I'm my own thing on the people, but I wouldn't want to keep fighting and taking on damage if I couldn't become a champion.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, look at Frankie Edgar. I love that guy. He's from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Not far from me, like 20, 30 minutes drive, but he's been such a wow. I can't believe they called that. All right, so we just gave her being credit. He called the while it was standing up.
Let's see.
All right, maybe.
I think you were making a good Frank Edgar analogy there.
Maybe Herbie is the best for a reason, you know. I want to see the replay because I don't know. Just let's see this.
Let's see.
Yeah, no, Herb is right. He. If you had seen this in just in the first round, it'd be too early to call it, but you see where it was going, and it was only going to get worse.
Yeah, I think he pretty much said, "Sorry, I want to save your career."
Not a bit. I mean, the fact that they're still looking at Zombie, and he doesn't look good.
No.
He's sitting up on the stool now. He still ain't right. So that was definitely a good call. Good call there, dude.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people would have done it either. I think because Herb Dean was in the position he was in, and he's a referee.
Well, he also had the face view of the Zombie where I couldn't quite see it. Also, it was a little distracted.
Right, but I'm saying like it's almost like Greg Popovich effect where it's like you got the league's credibility. You know, like if you make a call, most people are going to trust your judgment when it comes to it, just because of how many high stake events he's called.
All right, Volkanovski.
I was kind of joking about it staying up till 1 o'clock. I really didn't see all the fights going this long, but they really did. It was it was a long fight card, but it wasn't boring.
No, I enjoyed it. It was definitely.
Even the prelims, man, I watched almost all the prelims. I was cooking in between a couple of them, but I watched almost all of them. They were great. But yeah, so Mike, I talked to some big time DFS people. I didn't think they would even write me back. They wrote me back. We'll be doing that in the next podcast. We'll break it down. They gave us some good advice. And we even got a shout out on one of them. The guy mentioned how he's like, I got a guy who's already been talking about the USFL. He's like, he reached out to us. He's like, we might be able to do some big things. He's like, people are excited about this sport. And then I got some lower level guys that want to come on and they want to do a collaboration with us. So they've been. There's a couple guys like me and you that do some work, and they're just football fans, and they want to join forces with us. This guy apparently knows a lot about the draft, and so he thinks that the UDFL is going to fit his style best because he follows a lot of college football. And I know you're a big college football guy. See, that's why
I mean, I thought I would know more of the guys, to be honest, in the USFL roster thing that I looked up. But it was, the quarterbacks, I know most of them. I can't even say I know all of them. Like
there's one running back. I wish I could remember, but it's like 130 guys. So you have to give me a bit of a break. But he has 1,000 more yards than any other running back in the league.
I looked at the running backs and the receivers too, because after I looked at the draft, I'm like, man, I don't know defensive ends.
I recognize a couple of them.
So I'm like, I would know receivers and running backs just because from playing fantasy, college. Um, and I didn't know too many of those guys, to be honest. The guy, Kayvontae Turpin from TCU, he was good. I like him. There were a couple other names, and after
I want to
those
say
stories, I'm like, okay, I could see this be a good investment or whatever. But I have to do a double take and reread some of the stuff that it was a couple weeks ago when you did your first podcast.
yeah. I want to say it's Tampa's team though. They have two receivers. One receiver is 6'5" and the other 6'6". They have the biggest receivers. So like those are the small edges that we're gonna grind out in the next week or so leading up. Because like I think the size is gonna matter. Like say those 6'6" receivers are going against 5'9" receivers that aren't super athletic. Those are the guys we want to put in our lineups,
I hear you.
All right, man. Mike, it's been fun, man. I'm gonna get out of here, man. Get some sleep.
Later, guys.
Enjoy that last bit of
Good
pizza.
seeing you, man.
Yeah,
This
man.
is fun. We'll do it again anytime.
Oh, dude, you're a big hit. Everyone's been in a Discord with me and 12 Met, man. People were like, who's that Mike guy? You gotta get him on. So people are gonna love that they got to see you for 3 hours, man. They're gonna want more of you.
Oh, we're almost at 4 hours, man. 3:57.
Yeah, they're gonna want less of me and more of you. I promise you that.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready for it. Let's get it. Have a good night, everybody.
Take care,
Thanks
guys.
for listening.
I was gonna say good night, but good morning.
Yeah.